but I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
It was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, off of the direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please! Please help me!
Nothing won't let it happen. That's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 6, 3, 9, 7.
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Yo ho, sound check 1 2, sound check 1 2. Yo ho, welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host Michael Strange, and this is a special Saturday show because it is, as 40s out there mentioned, it is the end of the season. It is not only the end of the season as we enter 2022, it is the end of the season for Troubled Minds. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Can anybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's doing well. This is the thing, right? So I did miss a show on Tuesday, and I hate, again, like I said, work hard is the Troubled Minds work ethic, and I hate to miss shows, and we had a technical issue. We've had some phone issues. We've had nothing but problems in 2022 already, and let's make it up, shall we? Let's get on here and talk about all kinds of crazy stuff like we always do. So this is a Saturday show to make up for the Tuesday that we missed, and that's what we're doing tonight. That's what we're, as always, right? We're doing it in the same format. We're going to keep it sort of radio tight, at least 30-ish minutes, to just take a couple minute break in between, so I can say hi to chat. We can trim that out nicely. The end product ends up being great for the podcast feed, etc., so on. So we're still going to do it. We are not on the Fringe FM tonight, but we are streaming, of course, on all the places we always stream, which is you name it. It's Rockfin, YouTube, D Live, and Twitter, of course. And we're just doing without the Fringe FM tonight because it's not our time slot. So that's what's going on, and we're doing our thing. What's up? Thank you for the sound checks, guys. What's up? Trogdor wants to know: is there a live show tonight? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So the way this works is a lot of ways, right? We kind of do this in what would you say? How would you do it? How do we make this happen? I don't even know. We make it happen. It's a little something like this. I come up with a topic, and it's non-linear, open-ended. We can go wherever we want it to go, and it's a conversation between friends. It's as simple as that. It seems pretty basic, right? But sometimes it's not so basic as that. All right. Sometimes sometimes this gets wild, and that's the point, right? That's the point of doing it live. Like I've always said, we'll do this live. As long as we do this show, it will always be live, even if we're not on actual radio. we're going to do it this way because it's more important to, again, have the ums and the ahs and the weird Michael Strange lose his train of thought 10 times per show than it is to be, perfect, and perfect in the sense that you edit out all the oopses and all the meanderings and ramblings, that if you edit all that shit out, it sure makes for a tighter product, right? More succinct. You could probably trim like 3 hours of rambling down to 2 or even 1.5 or something like that. However, if you don't do it live, you don't get phone calls and you don't get people chiming in and talking about all the amazing things that we've heard over the past year. And of course, in the coming 2022, I'm looking forward to all the amazing takes we get from you guys. And as always, like I say, I have no inside sources. It's always been that way. The secret weapon of troubled minds is you. And so as a result of that, you guys know how this works. You know exactly. Don't act like you don't know how this works. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Let me put the phone thing here-ish. There we go. All right, fine. So that's what's going on with this. And that's what's new. And so like I said, this is my apology for my monitor breaking Tuesday, even though it wasn't really my fault, and you guys know that, but I still feel bad. I still feel bad. So yes, there is a live show tonight, and as always, what we're going to do is I will come say hi to the chat in just a moment. We're going to begin the conversation, and then we will bottom of the hour do the the quote radio break, and then we'll come say hi to the chat and all the rest of that, and that's what's up. So, reading all the chat and all the places, and doing my best to keep up with all the things happening, and try and keep a coherent conversation running all at the same time. Like I always say, I promise I'm not an alien, but sometimes it does seem like I have tentacles. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's just cut the dispense with the pleasantries and get to the Nostradamus, shall we? Let's do it. All right, let's get to Nostradamus. This is one of those ones that near and dear to my heart. We've talked about Nostradamus quite a lot on this show in the past, and there's a little bit of strangeness to this, right? Because again, Nostradamus, as we all know, was a physician. Nostradamus believed that he could predict the future and published his predictions in the prophecies. Some believe they have or will come true. All right, cool. So check this out. He was born in 1503 and passed away in 1566. So he's old school, let's say. That's probably the best way to put this. And that's the deal, right? Old school. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the things he said weren't relevant, right? And or still relevant even. So I don't know. I have my ideas on these things, my personal convictions and all the rest of this stuff. But it's not. I don't care because I'm only one person. Meaning I don't care to try and lecture you on what I believe about the world. Let's see what everybody believes about the world. And that's what this is all about. So with this, we're going to get to Nostradamus tonight. And every single year, right, the end of the year, the beginning of the new year, everybody's like, Nostradamus predicted this and that and the other thing, and yada, on and on and on, right? Can I actually, no shit, I can move this. Oh, yeah, okay, that's less good. I thought I could actually move the thing around, but no, I see. I have to switch it. Okay, anyway, so all right, so that's the deal, right? That's what we're doing tonight. We're going to talk about Nostradamus. And so the question is, as we begin, is this, all right? It's a pretty simple question. Do you believe that humans, in any capacity, have the ability to predict the future? It's simple. Right? Simple, but not so simple, like always, right? Like I said, the conversations can be simple, but they're not. They're not. They don't, right? You see what happens. So anyway, so that's what's going on with this right now. That's what we're talking about tonight. And what do you believe regarding... There you go. We got Tim in the chat predicting a very strange episode for troubled minds. There you go. There's your prediction. I like it. There's your prediction. So that's what we're doing tonight, and reading on the chat. Nostradamus is what it is. And what do you believe? Do you believe that his history and all the stuff that they said about his predicting World War II and Adolf Hitler and all the rest of that? Do you think there's something to that, or do you think it's just a bunch of hogwash BS that people are really, really stretching to try and make his quatrains fit history, real history, and that's the question here. So anyway, so as we begin, let's get to this then. Let's just cut to the chase and get to this right here. And oops, no, not that one, this one. Here we go. Now, this is from the Daily Mail. As always, my links are already in the description down below on YouTube. You can follow along if you prefer. Check this out. This is pretty wild. Can I, let's see, do this? Yeah, there we go. That's maybe a little better. All right. Anyway, so Daily Mail. Yeah, you got it. What's in store for 2022? With the new year around the corner, here are some of the 16th century astrologer Nostradamus' predictions for what lies ahead. Oh no. Well, okay. So with that said too, so the question tonight, we're going to go over some of the things that at least the media is reporting. And again, this is why we do Troubled Minds, right? Because the media tries its best to brainwash the shit out of all of us, all right? And so just because it's reported by the Daily Mail kind of doesn't mean jack shit. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. And so that's why I want to bring it to you guys. So not only do you believe that anybody out there in the history of the world can predict the future, or let's say this, what are your predictions for the future? There we go. There's a couple of ideas and thoughts as we go tonight. And I do like to have fun with some predictions here and there because, well, you know, we're making our best guess, unless, of course, you can tap into the Akashic record or maybe squeeze into the zeitgeist of the future or whatever it happens to be. Maybe you can pluck some of that out of the sky, out of the ether, and tell us what the actual future is. You tell me. Is it weird? Wait. Nice, no radio. Hold on. Do we have weird audio quality? Wait. If we have weird audio quality, I may just have to shut this whole MFer down. Can somebody confirm? Doombot says, I am detecting weird audio quality. I don't like that. I do not like that. Test. 1, 2. Doombot, don't make me do this, buddy. Don't make me do this. Doombot 9000 might derail this whole thing, so blame Doombot, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Saturday night show. We're making up for the show we missed on Tuesday. Audio is great. Okay, all right, good. We're good. Sounds good. All right, got it. All right, audio is great. All right, fine. Anyway, moving on. Whatevs. Okay, so the deal is this, right? Still listenable. Don't shut it down, man. Don't shut it down. What's up, Crabapple? I see you. What's up, the famous Liam Martin? I'll come say hi in a sec, guys. All right, so deal is this, right? That's what we're talking about tonight. Do you believe that Nostradamus could actually predict the future? Do you think anybody could predict the future? And do you believe that? What do you believe will happen in the future? There you go. There's the whole gamut of the things on my mind tonight, and I do think it's one of those weird, fun sort of get together type shows where we can just do our thing. One more time: 702-957-1037. There's that, and troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link. Okay, so let's read some of this from the Daily Mail, discussing and describing what Nostradamus predicts for 2022. All right. 2022. This ought to be good. This ought to be hot, right? Here we go. All right, straight from the Daily Mail, one of the other most trusted sources in news. Look at all this over here. Look at on the right side. We got prime relaxation. Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos and his bikini-clad girlfriend Lauren Sanchez canoodle on the yacht in St. Bart's for the second time on their Caribbean vacation. That is just hot. Jeff Bezos with his shirt off and his bikini-clad girlfriend, like, holding on to him like he's a porpoise or something, like swimming through the ocean. Like, what is this shit? Anyway, sorry. This is the crazy thing about the Daily Mail. The joke was, back in the old days of Troubled Minds, is if they had the Kardashians in the sidebar, it was fake news. All right, it was fake news. So they're distracting. Anyway, let's jump into Nostradamus now that Mike is completely and thoroughly distracted with the sidebar here. Let's go to global warming. All right, again, this is according to the Daily Mail, and they're describing Nostradamus as predicting this. Nostradamus predicted in 1555 that climate change would become so bad that the soaring temperatures would half cook fish in the sea. He also suggested that eventually the human race will not see rain for 40 years. And when it finally does, there will be great floods that would devastate nations. I got a question, though, just real quick on that. If the elephant in the room, if there was no rain for 40 years, would there be Nations to devastate? Just asking for a friend. Anyway, Nostradamus wrote, because of the solar heat on the sea, Ofuboia, what the hell does that mean? The fishes half cooked, the inhabitants will come to cut them when the biscuit will fail Rhodes and Genoa. Okay, that's crystal clear, right? That it explains exactly what they said previously. All right, and this is part of my beef with Nostradamus and the way people are like, oh, he predicted all these things. Audio was a bit sketchy at the beginning during the music, but it seems to be normal now. Okay, all right, sketchy. The intro, what kind of music? What are we talking about here? All right. Don't make me stop everything and do sound checks, guys. Don't make me do it. Anyway, let's go back to this. You guys know me. If it's going to be shitty, I don't want to do it. All right, that's what I'm saying. If it's like through a tin can AM radio out there, like a can and a string right now, makes me feel less good about this. But anyway, all right. So in another section of his book, Nostradamus also wrote, for 40 years, the rainbow will not be seen. For 40 years, it will be seen every day. The dry earth will grow more parched, and there will be great floods when it is seen. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. All right. These people are nuts. You are a great man. All right. Thanks. Just checking. They're not nuts. It's okay. It's okay. All right. So anyway, so there we go. There's one. All right. Of course, notice in this block right here that I just read about 40 days with no rain, and then 40 years, not days. We do 40 days with no rain in the desert all the time. 40 years with no rain, and then 40 years with nothing but rain. Well, if that isn't bad, I'm going to not know what is. Or I don't know what bad is then. But, right, notice how this is how they frame this. You always got to see, right? On the top here, they say global warming, right? You see it right there? Hey, I'm going to make this. Here we go. We're going to have to full screen this sucker just so you can see. Look, global warming. Now, explain to me how any of 40 years with no rain and then 40 years with rain every day has anything to do with global warming. Anybody? Bueller, anybody out there? Now, look, you see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Right? So it's not just about your own maybe personal interpretation of what maybe Michel de Nostradamus said, right? Back in the 1500s or whatever the hell that was, right? It's about, right, what the media tries to tell us it is. It's about what, let's say, an influencer tries to tell us it is. It's about, well, spinning things that may not be, all right? And that's why it irritates the hell out of me. So anyway, there you go. Like I said, but that doesn't mean it's not worthy of a discussion for sure. But okay, so there we go. Global warming, that's the first one, right? And blah, blah, here we go. Then okay, so that's what they said, right? There's the Nostradamus blurb we just did. 40 years with no rain, 40 years rain every day, right? Huge floods, first desert parchment sort of situation. Everybody, tongue hanging out like a dog wanting some water. Then 40 years of floods, all right? Okay, fine, right? But then what do we do? Yeah, you got it right here. You got it. The UN has warned that the Earth is likely to warm by 1 point. What? Yeah, I'm going to just skip. Before I get really and truly mad, I'm going to just skip that, and we're going to go do something else. We're going to talk about the next one. Looking to hear your thoughts, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. I have my screen cocked sufficiently off-center so that we can, I can see the phone calls if they come in. So we are taking your phone calls. This is just like every other regular Troubled Mind show, except no radio. So we're doing the radio without the radio, but that's okay, because before the radio, we did the radio without the radio anyway. So one more time, 702-957-1037. Down there in that corner, over there. There you go, over there. There's the phone number, and the Discord link will be on troubledminds.org. That's the official website. Okay, so what we're talking about tonight is, of course, Nostradamus. And so we're looking at some of these predictions that they're trying to tell us are going to come true for 2022, okay? And like I always say, you have to be buyer beware when it comes to consuming any sort of media, because, of course, well, maybe they're telling tall tales, let's say. Maybe they are stretching the truth, let's say. Maybe they're flat out lying to you, let's say. So anyway, Daily Mail, Nostradamus. All right. Climate change. All right. Climate change. 40 days. Sorry, I keep doing that. 40 days and 40 nights right now. 40 years without rain, and then 40 years, lots of rain, floods everywhere. So anyway, point being is, do you believe that? And isn't it weird how even on a publication like the Daily Mail, where it goes into what he's talking about with these floods and everything else, but then how is this like related to global warming, right? It's not, is it? I mean, really? So global warming would cause 40 years of floods also? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, here we go. So we have all that. Then it goes into this nice little diatribe about the UN has warned that the Earth is likely to warm by 1.5 degrees Celsius within the next 20 years. Anyway, so and then it just goes on and on and on about early this year, Western Europe saw its worst flooding in decades, leaving more than 100 people dead, blah, blah, blah. No offense to the dead people. It's tragic, horrific. Don't get me wrong. I do get irritated when the media does what they do. And anyway, so here we go. So we are doing this again. So a couple other things. I'm going to drop this in the thing. So we have the actual, let's see, guest can add. Okay. So we're going to do this. Yeah, not 40 days, 40 years, 40 years. So we're dropping this in the chat also. If you guys want to be part of the show, here's another way to do this. So I'm streaming on Restream. It's a Restream Studio. So if you want to jump on and hop on like the webcam sort of me, see how I'm over here? You would be above me or below me or whatever. It'll put us on the sidebar over here so we could all kind of talk about this stuff and give our predictions. So anyway, the phone number's working, 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link, watch on the Discord as well. And there's a third way, because when we do it this way through Restream, which is kind of cool, you can click that link. It'll fire up your webcam and your microphone, and you just tell it, yep, give it access, and then boom, we'll put you on the show, and you'll actually be on the show. Buyer beware there. It may put your face up on the show, right? Of course, not without your permission, but make sure when you click that link, you know what you're doing. It's danger, Will Robinson. Okay, so let's go. So that's the first thing. Nostradamus predicted, at least according to what they're saying, 40 years with no rain. 40 years. But then 40 years of not crazy rain, just nutty rain constantly. So again, what's going on with this? What exactly is the problem here? And do you believe this? And isn't it strange how we get to twist that sort of doomsday prophecy to the UN 1.5 degrees Celsius in the next 25 years? Oh, shit. Okay, anyway, let's go. Let's keep on trucking, shall we? Let's go to this one. Where are we at time-wise? Actually, we're in just the time to take a break. So let's do that. We're going to play some bumper music out here and do like we normally do for the radio. Nice radio transitions. If you listen to the podcast feed, guys, you'll see that it's tight. It sounds really good. And here's why. Because we can do stuff like this. Can play some bumper music. By the way, let me know how this sounds, because if this sucks, then, well, we'll do something else, because I'm not trying to make this suck. But okay, so there we go. And Robert says, I won't put my face on the stream. Mike already had to replace a broken monitor. There it is. There it is. You don't have to. Anyway, we're taking your phone calls as we talk about Nostradamus tonight. 702-957-1037. And love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that as we begin this conversation tonight, that Nostradamus had anything to do with the UN and climate change? Because, well, depending on what you read, maybe he did. One more time, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at Troubled Minds. We'll hear your thoughts in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds on the way. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we're streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter. And this is a special Saturday show to make up for the Tuesday show that was caused by a broken monitor. And tonight, we're discussing Nostradamus and 2022. Do you think his quatrains in his prophecies have any bearing on the current or future days? And that's what I want to know. Do you believe it's possible for people to actually tell the future? And that's what's on my mind tonight. If you want to be part of the conversation, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show just like this. Let's go to Joseph in Iowa. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm all right.
Right on. Go right ahead.
I kind of want to make this
Sure.
quick. I don't want to be too long, but I think the brain is like a powerful tool, and it's like I said this the other day, like what it's given, it can, like I've even heard before, like in our dreams, we predict stuff, like we run simulations. So maybe like Nostradamus was like tuned into just that part of him, like that prediction part of his consciousness, or maybe he just had a lot of ideas. I can see ideas being tied into this. And like if everyone spilled, I wouldn't say spilled, but gave their ideas, like everyone in the world has ideas. So if everyone was to spill their ideas, then I think it would be almost like unleashing an AI. It would be equivalent.
Okay, sort of like so the culmination of the human idea, sort of idea factory. If they all came out all at the same time, then it would maybe. So it would be predictions, wouldn't it? But the question becomes like, how do you parse them? Because there'd be a whole lot of horse shit too, wouldn't there?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, because I had an idea that they're gonna make the Mississippi River into, like, they'll have giant pistons almost that will compress water into vapor up in, like, kind of like climate control. Like they'll industrialize the rivers.
Okay.
Basically, and so that's just an idea. Who's to say that they're actually to do it, or if that's even possible?
Yeah, and that's the question, right? Is it even possible? Is all this stuff possible at all? I think the humans have proved.
If you take it through, like a team of people or like a lot of people, like kind of like you're doing, like you have Night Stalker and like a lot of smart people. If you take it through a team, then you get, like a filter, almost like you can get through it,
Yeah, I got you. So, and that's the idea, right? So it's not. I think that we shouldn't be afraid of ideas. We should be welcoming of ideas, because even if they sound outlandish, and I don't mean ideas like outlandish, like let's murder 1 million people. That's not what I mean. That is outlandish. But ideas are good, in and of themselves. It's a good thing. A conversation is a good thing. And as you know, you include yourself. You spoke high praise for Night Stalker. You call in often to the show, and you have great ideas yourself. So I think that's the whole point of this. We get together and kind of toss out some ideas, and you never know, man. Maybe the next solution to saving the universe comes from us, from one of you, right? And that's the idea. So don't sell yourself short, my friend. You are also awesome, and appreciate the phone call. Anything else you got for us?
That was basically it, and that's it.
Perfect. You're the best. Joseph here has a YouTube channel called Hydro Hose. Check him out. Link is in the description down below. He does some original music and some other stuff. And clearly he calls into the show often with amazing ideas. You're the best, bro. Happy Saturday. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, man. Adios. There you go. Simple as that. 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. And we're talking about Nostradamus tonight. We're talking about, well, is it possible to predict the future? And what do you believe about, well, Nostradamus and his history and all the rest of the stuff they give him credit for? Do you think it's like wishful thinking, sort of twisting the agenda to fit however you want it to fit? Or do you think that there's actually some sort of mystical powers going on there? So love to hear your thoughts. One more time, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. Phone number is right there. Website's right there. Down below, let's go to Derek. Derek in Massachusetts, the Night Stalker. What's up, my brother? Welcome to Troubled Minds. How are you tonight?
Yo, what's happening, brother?
Chilling,
Saturday
man.
content.
Chilling, yeah. More stuff. More. Go. Gas pedal.
More. Feed me the content. Feed me.
Feed me. Feed me. I'm sure being a conspiracy enthusiast and brilliant as you are, you have some ideas about Nostradamus, my friend. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I got a few thoughts. I mean, I got a healthy skepticism when it comes to Nostradamus. Like he's been around the History Channel fields for many years now. He was around the History Channel and Discovery Channel and stuff were bringing his stuff out before they were bringing out Ancient Alien stuff. So I kind of have the same flavor in my mouth when it comes to his stuff as I do when it comes to Ancient Aliens type stuff. Like there's probably nuggets of truth in there, but like the overall narrative is being distorted to fit whatever they're trying to show that episode. But as far as like the idea of people being able to predict the future, I absolutely believe that's true, or that's possible, you know. And then Joe had a cool idea when he was talking about what if everyone gave their predictions for the year. Like that's interesting. It's kind of the same idea as like what if everyone like told their dreams every morning, like what kind of messages or what kind of like hidden symbols we would be able to find in them. That like I'm sure if time is an illusion the way we experience it, if time is all happening kind of at once, then I wonder if we really do, if we are catching glimpses, if we kind of combine those glimpses together, if we can get a clearer picture, like for the coming time. Like I wonder if algorithms are like doing that, using our data to kind of predict stuff that way. In that movie, Don't Look Up, the big tech guy there, like Bezos, Musk, Simulacrum, kind of had this algorithm that he used to like categorize like purchasing types, like people like different like purchasing habits. But in collecting their data and analyzing their habits, he also predicted the exact moment they're all going to die, and it's kind of like a running gag throughout the entire movie. So like I don't know, I think it's possible. I think that we do pick up things from the ether, and some of us are better at it than others, for sure, you know.
Yeah, sort of like the brain is like an antenna, and it's just
exactly
who's tuned in to that frequency, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I can buy that too. But I think the thing is when you get more and more specific, and you start the Nostradamus stuff again. Like every time I read the quatrains, I'm just like I get a headache first off because it's like he uses a bunch of words I don't even know what the hell they are, and I'm not saying because my vocabulary is decent, not because he's like like some sort of word wizard, because he's like literally using like archaic words that just don't freaking exist anymore. So I'm like, wait, so what does any of this shit even mean, right? Like, and then they're like, oh, and he predicted this, and he predicted that, and he predicted the other thing.
And he kind of knew what he was like. He kind of knew what he was doing too. I think he was like, I don't know that much about Nostradamus, honestly. I don't know like if he was famous for his time period too, but you can kind of tell he was like making them intentionally cryptic in order to like be able to be like used as ciphers for any type of event. Like make them intentionally worded weird, then they can be used in the future like more often than if they were very like clear and specific. You know, it probably helps his case that he makes them kind of weird sounding. You know, there's another prophet, I guess, or mystic who's in the news recently. Baba Vanga, in her, or I think it's probably pronounced it Baba Vanga or something, and she has some predictions from 2022. If you want me to read those real quick.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. So I guess her deal is that she passed away in 96 at the age of 85. She's called the Nostradamus of the Balkans. And apparently she had like a regular life until the age of 12, where she like lost her vision. And apparently it was described as like a freak tornado that like flung her to the ground. And somehow her like eyes were encrusted shut with a thick layer of dust and dirt. So like if we're talking like ancient mystic vibes, that's a pretty wild origin story, you know? So like picture this like this old woman with like her eyes sealed shut with dirt. I mean, I'm going to trust her. Probably. I think she might know what she's talking about, you know? So here we go. Prediction number 1, a virtual reality takeover for this coming year, for 2022. So she laid out a ton of predictions, and these ones are specifically for this year. So she said virtual reality is taking over, which in a year of the metaverse is pretty interesting, you know? The year started out with us giving a review of the Matrix movies. Like, that's possible, you know?
Yeah. I'd like to see that. Can you link that when you're done with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
another pandemic, this time in Siberia. She said that this one's going to be caused by a frozen virus that will be released by climate change. So I don't know if like she said the word climate change before 1996, but they were putting that on there. This is from the New York Post. So they're adding climate change to it. But she said some frozen virus was going to be unleashed in Siberia. Many cities will face water shortages. They're going to find alternate solutions. There's going to be famine in India due to drop in temperatures that will cause locusts, more earthquakes and tsunamis, and quote intense bouts of floods in Australia and Asia. And then my favorite one, the whole reason why I'm reading it, is she says the invasion of Earth by aliens with the arrival of an asteroid. So
yes,
yeah, now we're talking.
No,
I don't know if that means like an asteroid, like we think it's an asteroid until it gets close enough and we realize that it's actually aliens, which is the plot of a comic from a few years ago called Trump's Titans, where this like group of reptilians led by Dracula comes down and Trump has to grab his superhero team to go up and fight him. It's like a political satire cartoon. But
whoa,
that's the exact plot. They disguise themselves in an asteroid until they get to Earth, and then they invade. But that's the apocalypse that I want is aliens. I'm not here for another virus coming from Siberia or for I don't know.
Right.
Didn't Nostradamus predict cannibals too? I know we're not there yet, but I think part of his prediction for this year is cannibals.
Yeah, so I've got that. We'll get to that. But yeah, cannibals and I think robots. They're trying to say like some sort of robot uprising. We'll get to that. Yeah. I don't know. Like this is what I'm saying though. Like you sort of read some of these things, and when you read the actual quatrains they cite, as always, right? Like we're talking about fact checking, like an ancient, right? It seems ridiculous, but when we do. You see that the interpretations are sometimes as wild as the quatrains themselves. So it's I don't know, maybe he's got the famous Hister one. He got the one where was it King Edward or whoever got shanked in the jousting.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was so he actually predicted it was a prince or a king that was going to die soon, and it seemed pretty specific. And then it happened actually in his lifetime. Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, like
I got one.
Sure, go ahead.
I got one from Rivers, not from Rivers, but like she pointed it to my attention. It's from a book. Loosely translated, Earth Mother Scriptures. She says, and apparently they're predicting in this book unfortunate events involving animals, like troubles with animals. So. The 4 major livestocks, and then the horse and the dog. There's going to be some type of trouble with that, and it doesn't say what it is. So, like, I was on Ryan's show the other day, and he's saying that this Ehu variant is hitting deer first. But like, deer is the first target of this variant. So I wonder if there's going to be some kind of weird animal disease, or like, I was on Ryan's show the other day, and he's saying that this.
Sorry about that.
No, sorry. Yeah. So I kind of my own. This is kind of a tangent, but I've been like. Observing weird animal behavior lately. I feel like the animals are acting strange. Like, and there's different theories for it. Like, as far as they're having some kind of increase in their consciousness, like they're having some consciousness uptick. But there's like animals. The monkeys are at war with the chimps for the first time ever in the jungle right now. There was like those monkeys that were taking revenge on dogs by like killing 250 dogs in India. Something that's like grabbing them and running them up to the top of rooftops and throwing them off. Like. Birds are behaving weirdly. It just seems that there is something weird going on with the animals. So it's interesting that she would say that as one of the predictions from the scripture.
Yeah.
And then
Weird thing on that, just real quick, is that if something's about to happen, like we know that when there's a tsunami coming, the animals vacate and people are just still partying in the on the beach, right? Like they know when there's an earthquake coming, like they clear out. They know these things are going to happen. So I think if something's going to go down, for sure the animals are going to know first, aren't they? Yeah,
definitely. There's one last thing, kind of. There's another article. I guess this. It says it's the predictions from a quote, great minds in 1922. The only one they really list off is an English author named W.L. George, who like died in 1926. But they all got together and apparently predicted what 2022 will look like. And a lot of it's just kind of infrastructure wise. They predicted like skyscrapers and different stuff like that. They said like the divorce rate will be higher and it'll quote be like more like Nevada is. So I guess Nevada was pretty crazy with the divorce back in 22. But they're like more women in Congress, just different things that you would think in the early 1900s they would say. or some of the cool or some of the weird ones that they didn't get right was that a complete meal may be taken in the shape of 4 pills. That we'd be eating all our meals in pill form. That in the cities we'd have rolling sidewalks using electromagnetic power. Canals would replace streets. Trains would travel on glass plates and reach 200 miles per hour. Anti-gravity screens would prevent airplanes from falling out of the sky. Luxury airships would have elevators and rolling floors. People in the suburbs would be living in like airship houses and enjoy a life of leisure. We'd be working like much less than 7 hours a day. That'd be like a lot for us. And then like we'd have a lot more time. Like in the future, automatic machinery and inventions will free man from industrial slavery, which would have been nice. And that's where we should be right now. But we're not. We seems to be working even more than we were back then. That's the American especially seems to be more toiling away than we were back then. I want that flying car, rolling sidewalk, airship future that they're promised us. You know,
right? Exactly. Where's my flying car? There's a T-shirt too. Yeah, hopefully, right? I don't know. And a lot of this stuff, I think, you know, like I looked at people like not Nostradamus, people like Philip K. Dick. You know what I mean? People like George Orwell, people that, you know, sort of contemporary to our time, but also brilliant visionaries that knew a bunch of this stuff was on the way, and they've predicted a ton of that stuff already, like almost bang on. I mean, look at the telescreen. Have you seen that mirror thing? That's like exercising in the mirror, whatever. That's the telescreen from 1984. Are you shitting me?
I know. I mean, as far as like sci-fi is concerned, you mentioned it the other day, but Soylent Green takes place in 2022, and we're eating celebrity sausages and stuff right now. So
right, exactly.
they got that one right. Yeah,
they got that one right.
as far as my prediction, I don't really have one. I don't love giving predictions. Like last year, I said that there was going to be some kind of mad scientist disaster, like CERN would have some kind of accident, or artificial sun would blow up, or something like that. So I keep mine pretty sci-fi if I can, because they most likely won't happen. So I'm not cursing anybody. But for this year, I get the vibe that somebody's going to die in the metaverse and then at the same time have like a heart attack in the real world. And then the story will go around like first person dies in VR. and then people playing the VR are going to see this person's avatar running around in the game. We're going to have the first like VR ghost. Like somebody's going to die in VR and haunt VR. I feel like that's safe to say because it's never ever going to happen. So I don't feel like I'm jinxing anybody by saying that. But great show, Mike. Awesome stuff.
I appreciate it. Fun. Great call.
Thank you for the Saturday content.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Thanks for digging it. Thanks for calling in. You are amazing. Phone line just dropped, but you're safe because you're on Discord. Have a good night, bro. I think he bounced. So Derek has a YouTube channel. Scroll down, check him out. As everybody knows, that's Derek in Massachusetts, the Night Stalker. Brilliant stuff as always. And that's the thing, right? He says he likes to keep it as sci-fi as possible. And that's what's, in my opinion, one of the brilliant things about Derek is that he wants to see, oops, let me mute that. There we go. All right. Is that he's looking at the stars, right? He's looking at the cosmos. He's looking at the future. He's looking at the past. And it's not, not getting bogged down in like political conspiracies. It's God, who wants that? But great stuff. Give Derek a follow. He has a trailer on his YouTube channel, and he's as you can tell, a smart dude. Like Joseph cited him when he called in previously. He's like, hey, you got smart people here. You got Night Stalker. It's true, and he's only one of them. Joseph as well, and all the rest of you. So as I always say, you know it. The secret weapon of troubled minds is you, and that's why we do this live to include you. And if you want to be part of the show, we're talking about predictions tonight. We're talking about this guy Nostradamus. Everybody talks about Nostradamus, right? About how he's one of the most vaunted seers ever in history, or this, that, the other thing. I'm not so sold on that, but I'm also not so sold on the fact that just because some of this stuff they twist and turn and maybe kind of lean a little too far with his quatrains to make them fit some narratives. I'm also not so sure that it's completely impossible to have the visions of the future. So that's the question tonight. That's what's on my mind. I'm going to frame this in my my frustration with Nostradamus, but again, I am open to the idea that we can, as people, have sort of that, as Night Stalker was describing there, and as Joseph was actually bringing up as well, that maybe the human brain is that amazing thing that can tune in to the ether, tune into something from somewhere else. and maybe pick up maybe a transmission from the future itself. So who knows? That's the idea here. That's what we're talking about tonight. And as always, we're taking your phone calls. As you saw, a great call from Joseph. Thank you for calling in on the phone line there, testing that out for us. Thank you, Night Stalker, for jumping into the Discord and giving us a phone call there. And we're still doing that. So if you want to be part of the conversation tonight, that's what's on my mind. Is it possible to tell the future? And we're going to go through some of these Nostradamus predictions and see how some of these actual media outlets spin things, right? It's always like, okay, look, hey guys, this political thing we've been trying to jam down your throat for 20 years. By the way, Nostradamus was talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He was talking about. But come on, really? Not really. Not really. Anyway, but yeah, I love the prediction there from Night Stalker. And we're also taking your predictions. Do you have a prediction for 2022? And of course, let's keep it from things like, the president will die. Don't say things like this, okay? And again, I'm saying that for the algorithms that are listening, I'm saying as an example of don't say things like this, please. I don't personally believe in magic, but I believe that enough people start saying bad things about somebody, something might happen. So let's not do those things. Just as a request from myself, okay? But what are your predictions for 2022 short of, tragedies like that? All right. So anyway, if you want to be part of the show tonight, part of the discussion, you can give us a call, 702-957-1037. That's right there on the screen. Can't miss it, down that way. And troubledminds.org, click the Discord link and we'll put you on the show. Phone number works and the Discord works, confirmed by Joseph and by Derek, and so everything's fine. What's going on, guys? A couple of funny comments here before we take off. What's up, Mooney, over on Rockfin? I see there, says maybe Nostradamus is the Illuminati. That wasn't the funny one. That's a good comment. The funny one is this. Ronald said maybe Nostradamus was actually just Nostradamus. There you go. There's funny for you. There's funny for you. Oh, boy, I tell you what. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break like we normally do, but we're still taking your phone calls. We're discussing these prophecies of Nostradamus from Nostradamus. Do you think that a lot of this stuff is just modern clickbait, right? Sort of taking text from the ancients and turning them into hogwash, right? Turning them into climate change, if you know what I'm saying. And again, that's a whole complicated thing. Don't twist what I said there. Anyway, point being, do you think that they're trying to turn this into these Nostradamus things, making him more of a celebrity seer than he actually can be or would be? So that's what's on my mind tonight. And then again, what do you think it is possible for people to actually predict the future? And if so, how? And what are your predictions for 2022? And so what we'll do is keep on trucking, doing our thing. How's the audio out there? Do you hear the music? Do you not? Don't make me pause it and go back and check. Don't make me do it. What's up? Let's see. What's up? Mooney is out there. What's going on, guys? I'll come say hi to the chat in just a moment. But that's what's on my mind tonight. We're talking about Nostradamus. Do you think that his prophecies are more modern media twist and spin, or do you think he was onto something? And do you believe it's possible for us people, the human race, to actually be able to see the future in any capacity? Love to hear your thoughts. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. I'm me, you're you, but together we're us. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds, Nostradamus, and you when we return. Be right back. We are talking about the alien abduction phenomenon.
The aliens are looking through your eyes and they're accessing your optic nerve. I'm doing that. Through that optic nerve, they're transferring to your brain. Random images as they traverse neurons in our brain.
All right, so maybe,
and they also feel them planting or receiving memories or ideas or images.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and tonight we're discussing Nostradamus in 2022. What do you think is going on with this, and do you think he's just more of a production of modern media hype, or do you think he was actually locked into some sort of maybe mystic something or other, able to peek through the veil, or what have you, maybe see into other timelines or dimensions? What do you think? I think that's the question tonight regarding not just 2022. We're taking your predictions if you got predictions on what may happen, what's to come. And don't forget, when you're talking predictions, everything doesn't have to be doomsday. There could be good things. I see good things on the horizon for many people out there. So it's okay. It's okay to be positive. All right. It's okay to be positive. So that's what we're doing tonight, taking your idea on, can humans actually see the future? What did you think about Nostradamus himself and Baba Vanga, as Night Stalker said when he called in just a little while ago? Do you think that these individuals actually have some sort of mystical power where they're able to see the future? That's what's on my mind tonight. And of course, taking your predictions if you want to be part of the show. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. It's as easy as that. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. And there you go. What's up, Matt in California says he predicted the world would end in 3797. Well, that tracks because, well, that's a long ass time away. That's for sure. But okay, so let's check, make sure everything's good. We got James here. We'll go to looks like MJ in Virginia, and then we'll go to James right after that. Taking your phone call, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. Let's go to MJ in Virginia. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, good. Yeah, you can predict the future, and you can predict it accurately.
Okay. How so? Please elaborate.
So,
Please elaborate.
Well, when I was doing readings, periodically, like you're in a mall or a bookstore on the phone line, every once in a while it would come in, and I think there was a time where I predicted, told a woman that her husband's going to ask her for a divorce, and it was in a bookstore. And about 3 months later, she comes back in, and she was sitting with the owner. The owner was also a reader. She sat down, and she immediately said, "My husband just asked me for a divorce." And I told her 3 months later he was going to ask her for a divorce. Through the reading, it was just obvious that it wasn't going to work out. One of my own personal predictions to myself, I didn't do this, to myself. 3 years prior to me moving back to Virginia, a little thought came to my head to where if I had to be, it's like you just heard a voice go, if you want to inherit your mother's property, you have to be living on the property at the time she dies. So 3 years later, here we go. Finances are going bad. I called Mrs. Short for a car, and she said, "Hey, why don't you move home? Because mom's getting sick, and she needs somebody to help, stay and take care of her. My sister has her own family, so she couldn't do it. So she helped me get a car. I got back, and the will, it was supposed to be 50-50 to both, thing. At the last second, my mother decided to change it, and she willed the property to me, and my sister got, I guess she got cash, but I got everything else on the property. So that was a little, I guess, personal prediction from higher up, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, those things can happen. Either it's going to be blatant that it happens. Maybe it's supposed to happen in their life, or there's variables along the way that as you're doing your reading, you sort of go down this path, and what works out the most is usually what's going to work out. People don't usually take a right turn all of a sudden in their lives. So yeah, I mean, it's totally possible. I mean, you can, and some of the stuff he said has already happened. Nostradamus. And further back you go in time, it's actually easier to predict the future because there's less turmoil in their present. So there's so much going on right now. It's so chopped up. I mean, some people are going to do really well. Some are going to do really bad. It's really, and what's really scary right now is it's like people are driving a Cadillac on icy roads. You know, the least little turn, you're going to have a wreck because of all the decisions and directions are going and opinions going out. So.
Okay. All right. I follow you. So you have actually, so the thing is this, so explain this. So you've actually been able to see the future in some instances. So what is it that makes it in that instance of foggy? Is it maybe that there are different realities and we can change that future? So maybe at the time you saw it as it was and it changed because of actions of the individual? Or is it that when you're telling the future, you can't always be locked into the exact future? Is it maybe a combination of those, or how does that actually work? Meaning that you could tell it sometimes, but not all the time. So what's the difference there?
Okay. The one I remember, I was doing this reading for this lady, and it was just an average reading. It was on the phone line. And right at the end of the reading, I said at 2:30 in the afternoon on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, outside your office in the hallway, you're going to meet a guy by the name of George. That was it. She called me up a week and a half later, and she goes, I met George. And I said, how did you meet George? So she repeated back, what had happened. And it was exactly that. Exactly at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, outside her office in the hallway, she met a guy named George. So that was real as a matter of fact. There's variables in, people are indecisive about what's going to happen. Ultimately, we have to go from A to B to C to D to E. Your energy is going to get grounded because certain things are going to happen in your life, or they need to happen to finish or complete a cycle. And then simultaneously, it begins the cycle. So if you can get in there and read the variables along, it just depends on where the person's at in their life. I was able to predict people losing their jobs, things going on because they were just hell-bent for I'm going this way. And it's like, you keep going that way, this is what's going to happen. And if they changed a little bit, I don't think the outcome would have been much different. It would have made an easier break from losing a job, but they were going to lose your job. It's just time for the change. So it depends on when you meet them, when you get a hold of them, what their life's doing, all kinds of things. There's all types of variables. So sometimes you would hit it and you can predict it and, it comes true. It all happens. And because they're in the midst of change and it's not really settled out yet, you can read as far as you want forward, but it's just not going to be as clear sometimes. So like I could find a lost object, something lost, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't find it and it's not meant to be found.
Okay. So it's not like an exact science. You can't like exactly nail this down every single time. It's like I like to point when I think of it in terms of Star Wars. I don't know if you're a fan, but Yoda, right? Luke Skywalker famously asked Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, and he asked him if my friends will die if I don't go help. And Yoda goes into this like meditative state for a minute, closes his eyes, and says, "Difficult to see. Always in motion, the future is," right? That's what Yoda said. And so is it kind of like that, where it is sort of that situation where that's why, because things can change, even though, let's say you saw it about to happen, but something can change that action from here to then, right?
No. What happens is, let's say, Michael, you're going to go out tonight, you're going to have a car wreck.
Hey!
I told you that.
Stop! Right? Don't do that shit, man. Don't do that.
And knowing...
Don't do that shit to me.
And you knowing this, so you go out tonight, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a car wreck. So it's on your mind, like, it's not gonna happen. So you go out and you have a little fender bender. You see, because you knew something. The energy of yourself and your thoughts, or what you do, your actions. Let's say you took a right out of your driveway instead of a left. If you had taken a left, it would have had a major car accident. You took a right, fender bender. The energy's there to do stuff, and you could ignore it. It's like I say my animals, my cats. They come to me, either they're going to die or I help them. That's pretty much where they are in their lives. And it's kind of the same thing. So I help them. So now they're going to live a longer life. I change that by doing something different. And so you took a right instead of a left, so you change it. And it'll be in the lesser sense, but there's it's kind of like, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's not. It's simplified in the fact that those things are going to happen, but because you rearrange how it's going to go, okay, it'll be in a lesser sense or maybe not as much. Because I've had twice in my life to where I had a choice as to, and it was right there in front of me. Something was going on. I had a choice as to whether I wanted to die or not. And I had a complete 100% honest choice to do that twice in my life so far. And it was presented to me, and no particular reason, but it just happened. It was like, why is this going on? My life wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh, this is horrible, but it was presented to me as, do you want to move on now or not?
Okay, but that's still back to my point. There's still a choice there then. So it wasn't written in stone. Even if, let's say, somebody had given you the right that said that was going to happen to you, there was still a choice involved, right?
Right. You have a choice. What happens is, let's say the car wreck was a major lesson. So you decided you just had a funny feeling, I'm going to go right. Something about going to the left. I want to go right. And the less you prolong the lesson, or it's a lesser bit of a lesson because you were more conscious of the situation, and maybe more conscious of whatever lesson was coming to you. When we go from A to B to C, from A to B, B is going to get grounded. From between A and B, we have choices and directions that we choose, but B is going to happen. How you get there and your awareness of it will settle things down. Like, it won't be as abrupt. And if you're aware of your life path or what's going on, and you have that feeling like, you know what, things aren't going good at work, or they're going great at work, I can go ahead and do something or not do something. If you're really into your own intuitive with your own life, then things are smoother. Mine's never been smooth. I can see stuff coming, and it's like, I'm a fighter. It's like, I don't want to change. I'm bad about that. But some people aren't, and their life is smoother. Okay. And so there's choices, and it's kind of is and kind of not. It's like you have choices on how open and recognizable you want things to be. And some people aren't. That's why they have these tragic lives. They're just not paying attention.
Okay. All right. I'll follow you. I appreciate it, my friend. What else you got regarding Nostradamus?
Way back when, it was easier to predict the future than it is now. They didn't have the disruptions going on then as they do now, with all the stuff that's being thrown out, all the misdirections and everything going on. They didn't have it so much then, so it's a little bit more pure reading. So when I hear about Nostradamus, I would say a lot more of what he was predicting was more pure of heart, because they had more of a childlike mind, and they spoke more pure at that point in time. But they're still adults, but they would come out and say what it is. You see, if you're gonna find a good reader, you want one that has no filter on their mouth. They're going to say what they see, intuitive, and read it the way they read it, and they put it out there. And yet there's an adult there, sort of like it's like the child's learning, and then the adult stands in the background governing a child to a certain extent. But there has to be that purity of thought and pure of mouth. So you have no filter in your mouth when you say it. So it's like being the innocence of a child is doing the reading, except the adult is there to do the reading. I don't know if you understand that. Yeah,
I follow you. Okay. All right. So okay. It stands to reason and continues to be a thing that I don't get a lot of it, because I still haven't had that experience. I will tell a little bit of an experience I had later regarding something you brought up, and it's somebody telling the future. But anyway, so I appreciate the phone call, MJ. You were the best. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of the community. Thanks for all the amazing insight you bring to the show. Very good stuff, man. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks a lot. Have a great night. There you go. Easy as that. MJ, that's his name is Michael J, actually, so that's why we call him MJ. So he's you can find him actually on the Fringe Discord, and also on the the Troubled Minds Discord, fringe.fm/chat or troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. He's in both. So again, like that's the thing, right? Sort of kind of being out there and if people want to contact you and have questions, and that's part of all this, right? That's okay. Okay, so we're kind of on a radio clock, but we did start a little late, so we're okay time wise. We got James here. Sorry to keep you waiting, my good friend James Salcedo of Salcedo Paranormal. Thanks for waiting, my friend. Welcome to Troubled Minds. You're here with MS Mike Strange, not MJ Mike J. What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Go right ahead, man. What do you think about Nostradamus? Do you think there's something wacky to this, or do you think it's a bunch of media spin?
Well, I think that there can be a lot of things. I think that the media spin is always a possibility, and I almost feel like probability in one way or another. So I think that's always there. We should always be aware of that. I think also people can be paying attention to the world in general, as in governments and nature and just current events. And I feel like that might make it easier to make predictions about the future. I don't know about hundreds of years, but I feel like even 100, I mean, who knows? I think that the more imagination someone has, and maybe even the more intelligence, not that that's the only thing out there, but I feel like even without any kind of psychic or paranormal abilities, you could possibly still predict into the future, at least to a degree, maybe not down to individual events, but I think that's possible. But then I also feel like we can't. I don't feel like we can say that the other possibilities of consciousness, of being able to access, basically look into other times. I don't think we can totally rule that out either. So I think with with anyone, I doubt that there's really just one answer for what Nostradamus or anyone else that predicts the future. I doubt there's one answer to how or what they're doing.
Okay, so more like what I described about Yoda, right? Always in motion, the future is, as sort of more like that, right? Is that how you see it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I hate to feel like I'm living in a simulation or locked into some sort of destiny, right? Like, I like to know that again, maybe working hard, maybe doing the right things, like having those decisions put in front of you is, again, part of being human, but also, right, knowing that hopefully, again, and I understand that, like, there's tragedy, bad things happen to good people. Okay, I get it. And I'm not trying to say that if you do all the right things, all the best things will happen to you. But I'm saying that if something tragic has to happen to you, aren't you happy knowing that in the final moment or whatever, right, that you did spend your time trying to do the best you could, taking the correct path and not abusing people and beating people and, just being an overall asshole and menace to society, right? Doesn't that, like, have some value, at least to yourself? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like, it seems pretty cynical to me to just think of life in terms of we're destined for something, and it's not a matter of us getting there, it's only how we get there, right? That it bothers me a little bit.
Oh yeah, I agree. It is. I feel like again, the future, there's many possible futures, and I think the best we can do is what you were just saying, just try to be good to others and keep working on what we feel is important, and I feel like the things besides just being good to each other, there's different things that are going to be important to everyone on their own, but yeah, I definitely have a problem with anything being set in stone.
Yeah, no good, no good. And by the way, we have plenty of time. I saw your comment there, so we have nobody telling us when to. So we'll get all the thoughts you have, my friend. No need to rush. Okay.
Okay.
All good.
Yeah.
All good. So what are your other thoughts here regarding? So what about Nostradamus? You did mention that we can't trust the media no matter what. So what about him in particular, though? Have you spent any time going through his quatrains or any of that? Maybe digging into this a little bit deeper at any point in your life?
No, I've mainly only seen what has been on TV about him. I haven't gotten around to looking into him yet. I've gotten, since I started researching things, I've been busy researching other things, so I haven't quite made it to him yet.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and planning for things to come in weeks ahead, and just but. Yeah, no, I haven't looked into him other than just what I've seen on TV. But it's another thing that I think is really interesting about that, and even just based on the things that they've shown on TV, is that we don't even know for sure that all the things that were written by him were written by him. There's even debate on the his manuscripts as to whether or not he wrote all of it. So that's another thing that I think is interesting about that whole thing.
Yeah, that's true too. Like always, right? So not only in like I said, fact checking the ancients, right? So is it even possible that they say Shakespeare was actually a woman, right? And with that, there's all kinds of theories about who Shakespeare actually was. So fact checking the ancients in terms of, well, were they actually who we thought they were, or did this Nostradamus stuff come from somebody else entirely? That's a good point there as well.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. I think, like everything, there's never quite one simple answer from what I've seen for a lot of things. And yeah, I think that was about it, really. I was just worried I couldn't get it all into a few minutes, but I guess I must be getting better at this talking thing.
Hey, this talking thing, I tell you, this talking thing, I don't get it.
It's hard.
It's hard. You just keep throwing words out until something starts to make sense, for sure. And like you said, here's the advantage too of doing this again. So in April, Troubled Minds will be 4 years. 4 years, right? That seems wild. And the reason why it seems like, maybe some people out there are like, oh, Mike's smart or whatever. And I'm not saying I seem that way. A lot of people have said that. So my point is, a lot of this stuff, including Nostradamus, this isn't the first time I've spent time reading or talking about Nostradamus. We did this a long time ago, like probably in the first year, right? Probably another time 6 months from there. So like as you kind of spend more time doing this, you'll sort of revisit some of these stories, some of these ideas. And that's the thing, right? So it's good to not only sort of dig into the research, like you're saying, of what these people were, who they were, all the rest of that, but it's good to let kind of some of that stuff sink in and then revisit it later, right? So it's a bit of a blessing for this show, for myself included, because I think that when you revisit some of these things, you're willing or apt to change your mind on how your life has gone between the last time and this time, or what you've learned between here and there. So like Rohan said in the chat, there is or was it Ronald? Sorry, I can't remember. It's a ways back, but somebody mentioned that was Nostradamus a remote seer, right? So like I didn't know a ton about remote seeing, and then so you start looking into some of that stuff, and I don't know. You think there's a correlation there? You think maybe that's what's happening with this, with the remote seeing bit, and maybe Nostradamus?
It could be, and even just the one that Derek mentioned, the one that made predictions that had been blinded by freak weather, freak tornado, or whatever. That I think anytime you have, and people have suggested this about me with my own experiences, anytime you have diminished physical senses, maybe your metaphysical awareness or your consciousness may figure out other ways to reach out into the world. And I think that's an interesting idea. I wonder if, as Nostradamus got older, I mean, who knows if his vision never started to go, his physical vision never started to go. Maybe he started to get better at seeing in other ways.
Yeah, and we've talked about that too, right? So imagine if maybe it is like a predisposition sort of thing, and like when Derek called in, we were talking about maybe the brain maybe being tuned into that or not. So I wonder if it is part of that, like a sixth sense sort of situation. Some of those ideas we've talked about in the past of the human brain being capable of amazing things. Well, do you think it's possible then that there is some sort of predisposition? And like they say, when somebody's blind, they hear better, right? Because their brain basically gets to focus more on their hearing than they do on than their actual sight, right? So your brain like kind of readjusts and focuses. So maybe if something like that happens and you were predisposed to a sort of a situation where you could see, we've got one who can see, right? That Just Rogie commercial on the fringe there. But if you are one who can see, right, then maybe something like that can change it or adapt it. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. And the hearing thing, I've definitely gone through that myself. I know other people not. It's interesting because it's not something that like all the people that I've ever met that have low or no vision, they don't all have that didn't happen with them for their hearing. It's really interesting. I think we're all so different. It's always hard to say what our brains or what our consciousnesses are going to do. In any, once things happen or because of things that have happened. So, but yeah, I think that there's been a thought that we all have access to awareness outside of our bodies, or we can all sense different things, different energies. It's just some are better than others at it, and then some learn how to be better at it than others over time too. There's both possibilities there. So depending on how many years Nostradamus was doing this, he could have gotten better.
Okay, back to the old, how to get to Carnegie Hall, don't you?
Yeah, practice.
That's what I'm talking about. Maybe it's that. Yeah. I dig it. I dig all the ideas here. Amazing stuff. What else you got for us, my friend?
I think that was it. Just as I always kind of try to put out there is maybe there's more than one explanation for things. I think that's really important to keep in mind, because I feel like today so much of this world, they want that one explanation for everything.
Right.
And I don't think it's that simple.
No, and that's part of the whole troubled minds basically idea since the beginning is things aren't as cut and dry as vote this way or that way and the world will be a better place. Like, if only, right? Like we wish it was that simple, but life is complicated. And so I'm with you. I don't think there's one easy answer to anything. And that's why we have these discussions. So amazing stuff as always. James here has a podcast called Salcedo Paranormal. He does paranormal talks 5 nights a week, by the way. And you can check him out. Link in the description. He's got a podcast on Podbean. And go download some of that stuff. Go hang out with him, actually. He does some of these shows, actually all these shows. You do them all live, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yes. And I'll be having a friend of the show on Friday. And Jennifer will be coming on Friday to talk about cryptids.
Okay.
So,
all right, sweet.
That's the plan.
Sweet, fantastic. So I've actually been on that show. I know Night Stalker's been on James's show. Jennifer's going to be on the show. I think you and Rohan are probably working something out. I heard as well, right? Down the line, maybe that's happening.
Yeah. Yep. We want to do that. I had Axel on one time.
Yep, Axel on the show. There you go. So that's the thing, right? So James, again, just here being part of our community, meeting lots of great people, and you see, right, these collaborations happen, and there's a lot of good things to be said. There's a lot of good thoughts to be had. We just got to get out there and do them. And James is a perfect example of that. Keep inspiring us, my friend. Keep fighting the good fight. You're the best. I appreciate you very much. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yep, thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, James. Catch you later. There you go. Discord works. Call line works. Everything works. Can you believe it? Cross your fingers. I'm told the audio is shit tonight, but what can you do, right? Yeah, everything can't be perfect all the damn time, can it? But okay, so that's what we're doing. We're talking about Well, prophecies. We're talking about Nostradamus. We're talking about, do you think that there's something to this in the sense that people actually can tell the future? Like I said, and it's interesting to me that every single answer out there is different. You notice, right? And I think that's part of exactly what James was discussing and why we talk about this type of stuff on Troubled Minds, is because specifically, life isn't so cut and dry and so easy, is it? It seems like, well, things can be complicated. And with things being complicated, well, things need a discussion, and that's what we're here to do. Talking about Nostradamus tonight. Do you think people can actually tell the future? What about Nostradamus? Do you think he was actually a situation of media hype in a modern day, or do you think he actually was a seer of sorts? Love to hear your thoughts on this. And also, what about your predictions for 2022? Love to hear that. One more time, this is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Click the Discord at troubledminds.org. That's the official website. Phone numbers there also. The Discord link is right on top. You cannot miss it. And there you go. There you go. And be right back. More Troubled Minds on the way. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and I am becoming infamous for muting myself mid-show. And, well, it's happened quite often in the past because, like I said, I do. It does seem like I have octopus arms doing all the things, right? You think about it, right? Like regular radio shows have like board guys, and they have call screeners, and they have right all the things, and they got Joe Rogan's got Jamie putting up links and shit for him, and producers are smashing buttons, and no, it's just me. it's just me. And so as a result, sometimes you click the wrong thing and don't realize you did it. And some of my best work, let me tell you this, some of my best monologues have come when I've been muted. What can you do? Anyway, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and well, we're here talking about Nostradamus. What do you think about this? What do you think about humans telling the future? Do you think this is a real thing? Do you think it's a fake thing? Do you think it's somewhere in between? Do you think it's complicated, as James was describing there? And I kind of agree. I think there's a lot of things that are complicated, and as a result of that, it's worth a conversation. Even if like again, my detractors would say, "Oh, this asshole's telling ghost stories on the internet." Yeah, fine. Yeah, cool. But right, it's more complicated than that. As always, right? You can't just say that there's ghosts or there's not ghosts. I think it's more complicated than that. Even scientifically, right? It's complicated. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, so point being is that sorry about that. I did mute myself, and I was talking into the chat, and I was saying thanks for all the great comments and all, and no, nope, nope, didn't happen. Let's see what's going on, guys. Yeah, there you go. Ronald says, I think Mike had to go poop. Oh, geez. Nope. I just pressed the wrong button and didn't realize it. So, okay. So I'm not used to this setup, this thing we're doing right now. It's, I usually do the other thing with OBS. And again, like I said, it's kind of TPS reports to people that don't stream. So you're like, what? Shut up, Mike. Dance, right? Shut up, Mike. Dance, right? Talk about the future, right? But I'm not used to this thing, so we need to do more of this thing, and I'll become more used to it. It's just not very radio friendly because there's not two audio channels. So to bore you just a little bit more, so this through a browser, you can't have two audio channels to send commercials out to the fringe. Because yes, I play the commercials that go out to the fringe also. So anyway, you get the point. It's not as easy as it sounds. So what we're doing, we're still talking about, of course, Baba Vanga. We're talking about Nostradamus. We're talking about all of this. Do you think it's possible for humans to tell the future? Got all kinds of different amazing takes so far. But looking to hear from you, though. What do you think? Do you think that humans actually have this ability? Do you think it's out there for us to find or to learn how to do or anything like this? Or do you think it's all a bunch of bullshit? I'm okay with both of those takes because I'm not sure what to think. I think that just like James said there when he just called in, that I don't think that it's as easy as it sounds. If everything was just a binary yes or no, it would be super easy, wouldn't it? But life is more complicated than that, and that's why we have these conversations. So what's going on, guys? No, Mike didn't have to poop. No, Mike doesn't poop. I thought you guys knew this. Come on. All right. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Looking to hear from you. 702-957-1037. Let's go to our good friend, Matt in California. What's up, my brother? Welcome to Troubled Minds. How are you tonight?
Good. How's it going, Mike?
I'm doing okay. Just, as long as I keep the mute button away from myself, I'm safe.
Yeah. Just wanted to add to the season finale.
Sure. Yeah, right on. I appreciate that.
Thanks for the secret show, Saturday show.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks for being in tune and noticing that it was happening. What do you think about all the rest of that? Do you think there is something to this telling the future, or do you think? I think there's like a lot of things. Just kind of as a framework. Do you think it's BS? Do you think it's completely possible, or do you think it's complicated, like Yoda said, right? Even the Jedi Master Yoda couldn't tell what the future was because it's always in motion. Do you think it's one of those three or something else entirely?
Yeah, I love how you brought up the Yoda quote because that is perfect for what we're talking about. That's exactly what it was. Yoda, he said it. There's so many different outcomes. You can't really predict the future, but we can try to guess, I guess is what what we're trying to say. I think I want to start it out with talking about Nostradamus real quick and then to that.
Sure, of course. Cool? Go ahead. Yeah.
Just talking about Nostradamus and some of the things he was talking about. Some of the things Nostradamus, he got into the occult, and there was a time period something happened. He everyone he knew and everyone he loved died of a plague, And so I guess that's like, we call that like a dark night of the soul. Like when a bunch of bad stuff happens, you know, you come back, you know. And it talks about that he was gone. There's like 6 years of his life that he was like completely just doing his own thing. And then like he was like delving into the occult, and then that's where like he came out and he started doing all these prophecies. And he was talking about he would do it. He would go to this. He had a cauldron of water. He would like, and he had a magic wand. He would like tap the bowl. This like, I guess it was brass, like a brass bowl. He would tap that with his wand. Then he would stick the wand in the water, and then he would tap his robe with the wand. And then he would like divine. He would see in the water, scrying. He would see these prophecies. He would write them down. And he did predict a lot of things that we've, you know, come to, you know, in the future, we've come to realize that he predicted a bunch of stuff. But I'm not going to get into all that because we don't know all that. But I think that's interesting that he was like scrying. He was using the thing that we call divination. And divination means like it translates to see the future. And I think it's interesting we break that word down, divining. It has the word divine in it. And I think it's connecting, you know, a divine source, like connecting to it and then prophesying from that. And so when I think about this stuff, like I'm into like tarot cards and, you know, the I Ching and scrying, tea leaves, all that stuff. But the thing is, I look at it as like a entertainment value. Like I don't say like, this is the future, this is what's going to happen. Because, you know, any act you make, you're going to change the outcome. So there's no way for me to predict like what move even I'm going to make next or what move you're going to make next to change the outcome of the future. And so the way I look at it is, like, think about this. Think about it like when I'm predicting the future. Let's say all the possibilities, the past, present, and future, are beads in a bowl. And I'm going to predict the future. So if I predict this future, I take out the beads and I put them on a string. That's the linear timeline, you know, going across. And that's like one prediction of the future. But when we look at it, you know, as like anything that could happen, it's like looking at a different perspective, that I take these beads and I put them on a string, and then I'm looking down at the bowl. I can also see all the other things that would lead up to that point, or anything that can happen after that point of action. So there's no real way to like predict exactly what's going to happen. It's just like the odds of it, you could be 50-50, you know, anybody could say 50-50 and you could get there. Follow me?
Yeah. So I do like the string analogy there and the bowl of beads. That's pretty fantastic. That's exactly what the Yoda thing would be, right? So he's looking through that line of beads the way they are, but you don't know because it's a mixture of possibilities to come. I dig it. And I like to think of it that way too, because in terms of free will, right? Like, doesn't it freak you out? Like it freaks me out that there's a, you know, if it's written in stone already, like what are we doing? Right? Like what's the point of being here if the shit's already like written in some celestial, I don't know, stone tablet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like I said, I can, you know, predict certain things, and a lot of things too. When we talk about the Oracle of Delphi and all that, I think a lot of these predictions, it's easier if you predict things. It's like very vague, like open-ended, because I can, you know, that's how they predict it, and it's like, well, of course that could have happened, you know. It's the more vague the prediction is, the more easier it is for it to come true, to the prophecy to come true, if that makes sense. Yeah,
that makes sense. So because you can interpret it a number of ways after the fact, doing the Monday morning quarterback situation, saying, "Oh yeah, definitely, he knew that Hitler was actually Hitler. He just, you know, it didn't come through quite clearly enough, right?" Like, I got you. I got you. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I understand. So I don't know. Have you ever had any sort of instance where you had a premonition, where you actually did, maybe through a dream or some other means, predict the future?
I do. Okay, so first I just want to say, like with tarot cards and stuff, I write everything down. Like I write all my readings down. And the reason I do that is because if I'm reading into the future, I'm like, okay, and then what'll happen is like in a year from now, I might find this binder that I'm, writing my tarot card readings in, and I'll reread it and I'll go, oh, well, this did happen, but not in the way the card said it was going to happen, or it did happen exactly the way the card said it happened. There's, like I said, there's different ways, but I think if you're going to do any kind of predicting or any kind of like divination, you should write it down. That way, like I said, in a year from now or 10 years from now, you can go and read it and go, oh, it did or didn't happen. Same thing with astrology, zodiac signs and all that. The zodiac or the the horoscope. The horoscope, and then you read it, and then you can go back like a week from now and read your horoscope and go, oh, it did happen or it didn't happen exactly the way I thought. But me personally, I've had I guess you call them intuition like predictions, where it like happens like right away. I don't know if you want me to tell those kind of stories.
Sure, it's up to you. It's up to you, man. It's your time. It's your phone call. You tell me what you want to tell me. No problem.
You have time?
Yeah, of course, bro.
Okay, I'll tell
You're a friend of mine. I have time for you. Absolutely, go right ahead.
All right. So I'll tell a story. I guess this is a intuition prediction story. So this is a while back. I was driving down the road, coming home from a friend's house. I had my wife and the kid in the car, and drive down the road, and I'm going, 80 in the fast lane, and I see I'm coming up to traffic. But I'm close enough to home where I could take the next exit and take the back roads home. So I start to get over, I start to merge over into the slow lane to take the exit. And as I'm merging over, it was weird. It wasn't like a voice. It was like a feeling. It was like, you're going to stay in this lane. You're not going to get over. And I was like, okay. So I had everything, I had my blinker on. I looked at all my mirrors, checked everything. I was going to get over into the slow lane. And my intuition, my inside voice was like, no, you're going to stay here. So I was like, okay. And my wife was like, are you going to get over or not? And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm listening to what my inner intuition was saying. And then we catch up to traffic. We start to slow down. And then all of a sudden, now we're stuck in traffic. And all of a sudden, in the lane next to me on the right, a big rig truck did not slow down fast enough and slammed into the car next to them, slammed the car next to me, slammed the car, there's like 4-car pileup in the lane that I was going to be in if I would have got over like I wanted to. But I stopped myself from my own intuition. I don't know. I wouldn't call that like predicting the future. I just would call that intuition, but it was weird that it's happened. So it is a thing.
That's pretty wild. Yeah. And so what does that mean though? Like there's a whole lot of like that goes into that of WTF is this all about? Meaning of course that so we're experiencing time not as we think we are, right? So like that was a short-term prediction. So you had, the intuition, the bad feeling, whatever that happened to be, but it allowed you to maybe seen in a short version of the future, you were able to make the right decision. And like, not only that, it wasn't like a cursory, like, nah, I just changed my mind. It was like a spider sense, right? Like a warning almost, right?
Yeah. Spider sense.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's kind of how I would just say it. Because it wasn't like a voice. It wasn't like something telling me, this. It was, and I've had other stories like that, but it's just, I guess the point is, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut feelings. If your gut feeling is telling you something about somebody or someone, like, just do it. Don't question it or try to, play it off as little things. Always trust your intuition.
Yeah, it's there for a reason, isn't it? It's the weird thing that like, even though you maybe can't place exactly why you feel uneasy around somebody or whatever, right? You like, there's those nonverbal cues that like you're noticing, but you can't like perfectly explain in the moment, but the rest of you is like, no, like get the hell out of here. There's something up, right? Like it's still, we get it. Our brain doesn't really process it in the sense, I guess you could just say our brain doesn't work like we think it does. you know? And again, back to that whole maybe time situation where you're able to see just even a short glimpse of the future with that spider sense sort of feeling. Well, then that would suggest things like that, like the intuition you said about, even though people can be those silver-tongued devils and seem really nice, but they're actually scumbags and trying to rob you sort of thing, right? Like that would be that same sort of situation, wouldn't it? That our brain sort of has a way of telling us things that we can't really quantify.
Yeah, and I think that's just like I said, that's, you know, intuition. It's not really fortune telling or divining. But it is interesting, you know, it's like I'm not seeing into the future, but I can tell the future that way. And I think with divining and with the cards and the, you know, all the different ways of divining, I think it's interesting to say too is like if Nostradamus was doing these things, I really don't think that he said like years, like in his years could be wrong. You know, he could say, oh, he could like predict in this year this is going to happen. But like, who's to say he's not off by, you know, 10, 15 years or whatever in his predictions? But I don't know if he was like really sitting there going, in 2021, 2022, this is what's going to happen. I just think he was predicting the future events on what, you know, on one timeline. He wasn't really like saying like an exact date or location of when or where this is going to happen. And that's what I think people need to kind of think of too, is like, yeah, it could, you know, he's predicting the future, but he couldn't be exact on like exactly the time or the date or the location of when it's going to happen.
Yeah. So like we're giving him basically all of history forever to get shit right. You know what I mean? Like you got to be a little more specific, don't you? And that's kind of why this Nostradamus stuff kind of pisses me off a little bit. Cause it's like, hey, like at some point you have to be some amount of specific, because we can all go write some bullshit poetry and then point to it later and say, ha, I told you, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's bullshit poetry, but I'm saying the poetry I would write would be bullshit poetry. That's what I'm saying. The great stuff, Matt. What are your other thoughts on this, my man?
Just what I was saying, like what you were talking about George Orwell, you know, he wrote that book so long ago, 1984. It wasn't like predictions though, but like you could see, like, I don't know if he wasn't like predicting it. He was just writing a dystopian novel, and like, but you could see like so many parallels of how it's the same. That's interesting. But there is one thing, just with Nostradamus, there's, you know, times where he was completely wrong. And there's one, he says, he said there was going to be World War III was going to happen. This is an example. He said World War III was going to happen in between 1994 and 1999. So it's like, when you start putting like dates like that, obviously it's past 1999, you know, obviously it didn't happen. So he's wrong. So there's like, that's what I was saying, like a 50-50 chance.
Worse than that. Worse than that.
Yeah.
Especially if you put dates on it. And this happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
People saying, oh, next year's the end of the world. Oh, next year's the end of the world. And I got to tell you, it's if you want to add a third thing to like my list of trigger points, clearly it's healthcare, taxes, and the third one, it's high up on the list anyway, is doomsday prophecies. I can't stand it. It pisses me off because it's trying to rob a generation of their future through your ego. That's how I see it. All right. Clearly nobody knows what the end is. And if you're telling me every goddamn year, pardon my French, that it's the end of the year again and again and again, it triggers me. It pisses me off.
Yeah. We lived through that, the whole Y2K, and then the, what was the other one? The Mayan calendar thing. And it's like, here we are. Predictions are wrong. Again and again and again and again. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Great stuff as always, Matt. Yeah, I think it's interesting just, you know, talk about it and just don't take everything too seriously when it comes to future predictions, and always trust your intuition. So I'm going to leave it there. Thanks, Mike. Good stuff. You're the best, brother. Happy Saturday. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll catch you next week. Tell Lacey we said hello, and you're the best, bro. Talk to you soon. All right. Good night, Mike. Thanks.
Thanks, man. You too. All right, there we go. Simple as that. You want to be part of the show? We're still taking phone calls. We're talking about predictions. We're talking about Nostradamus. Do you think it's media concoction, BS, some other thing? What do you think it is? And again, Matt's got a great story there, some great takes on that. Has anything like that happened to you, where you knew in maybe a short-term moment that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that, and you didn't, and something terrible happened if you would have made the first choice, like something told you not to, right? Is that real? But and again, that's the whole point here. And I think there's quite a difference in terms of like the Matt story there. I'm 100% on board with that, because that intuition is, again, our brain probably processing time in a non-linear way, right? That time is an abstract thing, right? Meaning that we think in terms of like the human experience is like that row of beads, just like you described. It's like one moment, then the next, and the next, and the next. But what if our brain is actually processing everything around us in this sort of like temporal sort of variable thing, right? And maybe it doesn't go too far, but if it does even go just moments into the future, right? There's been all kinds of people with those types of stories that spider sense, like the Matt sense is tingling, like Night Stalker said there in the chat. Like, how do you explain those moments when there's no way you could possibly know something was going to happen, but you some little idea kind of got lodged in your head to not do it. You didn't do it, and then if you had, it would have been a disaster, right? And that's the craziest part here. So I don't know. You tell me. That the question is: do you believe in telling the future? Do you believe that Nostradamus could? And all the good stuff. What's up? Robert says even a broken clock is right 2 times a day, and that's true. And that's kind of my point when we began tonight. That is if you throw enough shit out there, eventually you're going to get some stuff right, okay? But just because you got some stuff right and threw a bunch of shit out there, and I like what Matt said too regarding that he writes it all down so that you can't kind of cherry pick in your memory and be like, oh, all the things I said have come true. He can go back and look, hey, I made a journal. I've got all this shit written down, and I can tell you it wasn't, right? Because I can actually go back and see. Or maybe validate something you thought would be a short-term, or maybe it became a long-term thing. Who knows? But again, right, is intuition the same thing as seeing the future? So anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. We're talking about Nostradamus and his predictions, and there's all kinds of stuff here, right? There you go. What's that, Wilcox style, right? Oh boy, him and his actual inside sources, right? Yeah, I don't know. All right, so if you want to be part of the show, we're still taking phone calls and talking about this. We got some time left. It's actually probably time for like a real proper break where I don't mute myself. So here's what we're going to do. We're kind of around that time, about the 2-hour mark. So we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be right back with more Troubled Minds. So we're taking your phone calls. Now's the time. If you want to hop in here and give us your thoughts, dial the number. It's as easy as that. Jump in the disc. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Let's not do that. My bad entirely. Let's it looks like Daryl's in the caller queue. Let's make sure if Daryl's here, we'll go to Daryl first, then we'll take a break. Daryl's been waiting there, and I noticed, but I wasn't sure because she didn't chat. Sometimes she pops in the caller queue by accident. What's up, Daryl? Are you there? Test 1 2. Can you hear me? How you doing? Daryl in New York. Welcome to Troubled Minds. Are you there?
It's a Wilcox style, right? Oh boy, his
What's up,
actual.
Can you mute that screen for me, pretty please?
Wait a second.
Thank you.
Okay, I just knocked it off.
Thank you. Oh, good. How are you? Welcome to Troubled Minds. Daryl in New York. Welcome to the show.
What a great show. I love anything about Nostradamus. He was French, and he was on the money with a lot of things. I was listening to this other psychic who was researching Nostradamus in a totally new way, and everybody's talked about and written about Nostradamus. And I wish I remembered his name, and I'll have to look it up. But he had was researching the time of Nostradamus, and like how you had to look at the time where people lived. Like Matt was discussing, that a lot of people died around the years of Nostradamus, and that was true. There was the Black Plague. Nostradamus was isolated, so he was self-isolating, so to speak, and he lived in an area that had running water. So he had a lot of good sanitary habits. But he didn't get the Black Plague, but a lot of people around him had died. The same, just mentioning that. So, and his predictions almost seemed like to come to him also in like kind of a download, or, like a download, I'm going to say. like an out-of-world experience or out-of-body experience. I was going to say another thing. I was watching some ghost hunters, and there's a lot of tools to use to predict the future, or predict things, or to talk to spirits, for example. And those divining rods got me very curious when I saw these people that were just being filmed in a Las Vegas hotel that was haunted. And they had all this ghost hunting equipment, and they just like realized that their room was so haunted. It had lots of poltergeist activities. So they took out all their equipment, and they literally used those divining rods, or the things that you would use to look for water. And they were asking the ghosts questions and to see if the divining rods would react. And I believe they reacted. So there was some energy there. So those are a tool to predict the future or talk to spirits. Can spirits predict the future? I think there's a lot of possibilities there. A lot of that maybe juice going there. Where, if you can talk to spirits, somehow they can give you a message from the past, a message for the future. Can they predict something that can happen to you and warn you? It's possible. I think they're tools, and I think when you go to a psychic even, I think psychics, just by going to a psychic, means that you're interested in your future. And I think it's, if they're really psychic mediums, I think they will be able to tell you a lot about yourself, and it's how much you need to know, and I think you can change. There's the question, can you alter the future? And I hope you can. I think free will enable us to, alter our future if we have a choice of good and evil. Hopefully we'll pick the good, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I follow you 100%. And the thing is, the thing that really gets my goat is, like I said, not to be fatalistic here, but if it is written in stone already, in cosmic stone somewhere, that no matter what we do, we're destined for a particular thing. It would take the wind out of my sails, because, right? Like but again, think about that. If that was the case, and my motivation for whatever it is, right? Like I have a lot of motivations. I don't want to be lazy, right? I have a motivation about challenging myself to speak better, to do better shows, right? To even create a show in the first place. I have a lot of motivations for a lot of different reasons, right? But if those motivations are like challenges to me, if you remove the end result of the hard work from here to there and say that this was written in my future anyway, it seems difficult for me to perceive that no matter what I did, I would end up here. Even though when I was 20 years old, I was the biggest introvert you ever met, right? I could barely carry on a one sentence without nearly bursting out in tears, right? I just had social anxiety to the nth degree, right? And it's just what it was. But without trying to break out of that and get practice and do this and make better shows and meet fantastic people like yourself and all the amazing folks that the Troubled Minds have come together and built this great community, like how is that supposed to happen without me challenging myself initially, right? And saying this can be, right? I don't know. And then so it sort of breaks that spirit, in that if it was going to happen anyway, then why work hard? It's going to happen anyway, right? Yeah.
Did you see this happening when you were 20?
No, hell no. Like literally, if you listed 10,000 things on a list when I was 20 and said, Michael, you will be a talk show host one day, I would be like, you are a liar. There's no, literally, put that last on the list, zero chance. Zero chance. No. Can you
imagine? Or somebody said to you, even if somebody said, I see in your future you're going to be a talk show host, what would you have told them even? Would you have even thought twice about it?
No chance. No, zero chance. I would have given it less than zero chance. Less than zero.
You wouldn't have thought about it.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have thought about it again, probably.
No. I've been like, whatever. No. Forget
whatever.
that. No.
You don't remember that time 20 years ago that you know. I'm just kidding.
No. Oh, see, now I see what you're doing. I see what you did to me. You're doing the old mind fuck on me. I got you.
Remember when, I think things change. Things change constantly. I think there's constant change. I think certain predictions, like what's his name, Casey. Like, he predicted that we'd be able to diagnose something out of a drop of blood, and that was ridiculous to say something like that in his time. They must have thought he was crazy or it was magic. And he'll be able to tell a lot of things just by a drop of blood. But here we are, you know. So certain things that, you know, people predict do happen. Now, was that really insight on his part, or that's just obvious? I don't know. You know, I think people that understand science, maybe we take for granted that they have psychic powers, you know. But is it just a really good knowledge of you know, chemistry or physics, you know? Even like, you know, I don't know, this the prediction of the periodic table or whatever. Dmitri Mendeleev, he was a Russian chemist. He designed the periodic table, and there were only 60 out of like 118 elements that were known. But did that make him like psychic, or just made him really smart? You know?
Right. Like, yeah, that's a good question. Or maybe the knowledge he had gave him enough insight to predict these other things, right? And so, and again, like, there's a whole lot of reasons and ways for people to predict this future, whatever this future is, right? But, you know, just like I said, George Orwell, like Matt brought up, you know, Philip K. Dick, more contemporary people that maybe weren't trying to tell the future, but it seemed like in a lot of ways they kind of were, right? I don't know. There's a lot of ways to do this. Yeah, you are correct here in that. I don't know. And I think, think of that, our brain, like I described, working as sort of this, like, in this temporal flux of where we think that time is like one step, you know, the next step, the next step, the next step. But our brain actually processes it somehow in a time travel sort of situation, even just in the short term, so that we kind of know when we should not do the thing that we're supposed to do, right? It's who knows? That's just a pretty wild to think about, that maybe that is built into the brain somehow, and that could explain, like, that's my spider sense is tingling, right?
Right. And also, I mean, things like the stars. I mean, I'm not a big, you know, I'm not a person that would say that I believe in astrology necessarily, but there's something about astrology, astronomy, it does have an impact on us on the planet, like, and it has an impact of what happens. And the people that predict, you know, the future based on the stars are so accurate sometimes. I have to wonder, you know, why do they know so much that will happen in the future based on where the stars are positioned? There's some science to it, and it's not even paranormal. It's science. It's got to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. But then again, back to that whole science and magic, right? It's magic is always magic until science discovers what it is, and then it's not magic anymore.
Right.
So,
it's paranormal until it's normal, really.
Right. Exactly,
you know?
right.
It's just between normal, paranormal. It's just normal after you know what caused it or how to do it. You know, I just wonder how much of the stars have in our, you know, ability to change the future, you know, or predict the future. I mean, it could predict weather, it could predict storms. So those type of things we can predict and anticipate based on the current events. So you can predict what's going to happen in the future, in the near future. I'm not going to say in the distant future, but, you know, people that can predict the distant future just boggle me, like you know, like Nostradamus.
Yeah.
You know, that got...
It's two very different things, isn't it? Very, very different things. So yeah, maybe it is two different skills, right? Impossible to say. Well, for me anyway.
No, there's nothing very paranormal about. I can't like put a science on Nostradamus. I think where did he get that information? How did he get all those? I mean, he was so smart. I mean, the way he wrote in quadrants and code, you know, so God forbid he get caught, you know, that he wouldn't be called a witch and stuff. I mean, he was just so clever to hide, you know, his knowledge, and, you know, his knowledge was so vast, but the way he even wrote was totally, like, confusing. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I can't read it without getting a headache. I'm like, wait, what does that word mean? Is that is this still a word, or was it a word then? I don't even freaking know. Yeah, totally.
For a man who lived in a very small world, he had very big vision, you know. When you think about people living in cities now, I can't remember the percentages of people that were alive in his village. I mean, just think about it. You probably knew everybody that lived in your village, which in a square mile, you knew everybody. And here, forget about it, I mean, for any one of us, it's just like exponentially, the world has enlarged so much. So that it's just, you have to look at the world from a different point of view, when it was much smaller and less inhabited. And that's where that other psychic was coming from when he was rewriting his review. It was such a good podcast on Nostradamus. I'm going to have to look it up and share it in the chat room.
Yeah, right on. Appreciate that. Definitely good stuff. I had a thought and I lost it. I had a good thought and I lost it. Damn it. What was it? I hate when I do that. Can you imagine if all the good thoughts we had just came out of our mouth instantly?
We could remember them all.
Right. And we could remember them all. Yeah. It was actually a really good thought too. I was like, oh, sweet. I'll do that. And I was listening to you a little further, and I lost it.
Always change the subject. You can always change the subject.
Yeah, you can always change the subject. Yeah. Oh well. It's
we'll remember it after show.
yeah. All good. Like I said, there's only me. I got two hands in spite of the accusations of the tentacles, the robot tentacles, the Dr. Octopus. I don't have those things, I promise. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay. That's the point. Like I always say, part of the whole shtick of Troubled Minds is I'm imperfect, and that's part of the point. Everybody can be, and it's okay. It's okay. It's part of why we do this together. Okay, so what else? What else you got for us?
I had something else, but I also forgot.
We're getting old, Daryl.
We're getting old, but that's the problem. But that's why it's good to write things down. Write it down. I try to write everything down. I didn't get a chance to tonight because I'm too lazy and I'm whatever. I can't move that well yet.
Gotcha.
I'll be better tomorrow and the next day.
And the next day. Fantastic.
But this is all awesome. I love the discussion. I love the show. Great job, and keep it up. And I can't wait to hear who else calls in.
Right on. Thank you so much. Daryl has a YouTube channel as well, guys. She has a single, and not just that, she's been singing for a long time, doing show business for a long time. So I've got the right there. You can see it. I forgot to add it to the link tree. I will do that, Daryl. Sorry about that, but it is right there on the screen. I added it right now. You guys can see. Follow Daryl. Daryl has a YouTube channel, and you could freeze the screen and grab it, and also add it to the link tree down below. Thank you for being part of the show, Daryl. Always amazing stuff, and thanks for listening. Thanks for being you. You're the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. There you go. Easy as that. Thanks for the phone call. And so what we're going to do, go ahead and stay right there, Daryl. If you want to listen from there, that's cool. So you don't have the weird delay. Just mute up. You know the drill here. All right. So what we're going to do is, since we can go a little bit long because it is Saturday. Fuck it, right? Fuck it. Nobody tells us when to start and when to stop. So we're going to just take a quick couple-minute break here, and then we will still taking your phone calls. What do you think? The whole conversation is this tonight, and I'll try not to mute myself this time. So I'm used to all my other buttons. Now there's new buttons, so sorry, I fucked up. What can you do? But anyway, so point being is that we're going to take a quick break, 2 minutes, but we're still talking about the future. We're discussing whether you can actually divine the future through, who knows, divination, scrying, like Matt was saying, all kinds of different things. Or do you think maybe it is not magic, it's science? It's that maybe in some sense we have, I remembered what that thought was, Daryl. I remember what that thought was. I'll tell you when we get back. So in some sense, right, where do you get this information from? Is it based on your past? Is it, again, we have DNA memory. We're told that we have these instincts that are passed on through DNA memory through the generations of not just dozens of generations, but thousands of generations type thing. And so if that's the case, right, then we have a sort of a sense of that common sense, right? It's kind of built into us. And so just because we're walking into a room with the power of our ancestors built in, right? Which makes us a very powerful individual, by the way. And so the question is, do you think that there are ways that humans can actually tell the future? All right. That's what we're talking about tonight. Nostradamus, we're talking about all the rest of this stuff. And if that's the case, right? How? Why? How come? Can only some people do it? Does it take practice? Is it a gift? Is it all bullshit? I'm open to all the takes. That's the idea here. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. I have my opinion. You have yours. But when we talk and we all get together, you see how this evolves into something else entirely. So that's what we're doing tonight. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037, 702-957-1037, troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link and watch. This time I'm actually not going to mute myself. Check this out. Check this out. All right, we full screen that. I'm going to play some music, and here we go. Here we go. Let's do which one? This one. All right, I think that's the in, but we're going out. Taking one more break. You're listening to Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Love to hear your thoughts. Can you tell the future? Could not Nostradamus tell the future? What's going on? Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. 702-957-1037 down there on the left hand of the corner of the screen. Phone numbers up. Love to hear your thoughts. Be right back. 2-minute break. More Trouble Minds on the way. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are doing our thing. We're streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, D Live, and Twitter, and we're talking about Nostradamus. Ah, yes. Nostradamus, was he actually a seer of sorts? Do you believe you can actually tell the future, or do you think this is all just a bunch of horse shit? And looking to hear from you if you want to be part of the show tonight. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubledminds.org, and we'll put you on the show. Easy as that. Let's go to our good buddy Dre. What's up, Dre? Welcome to Troubled Minds. You're on with Mike. How are you?
I'm doing good, Mike. How are you doing?
Doing well. Where are you from, Dre? Just your state. We don't want to home in on you, just so I can say, hey, Dre from which state?
I live in South Carolina.
Dre in South Carolina. Welcome to Troubled Minds. Go right ahead.
So I had a couple thoughts listening to Daryl. She reminded me of a Tesla quote that says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So if we're going to assume that's a truth, premise of truth, right? And that we know that energy can neither be created or destroyed. And that the recent studies in quantum physics tell us that when two atoms or particles or whatever are linked, whenever they're separated, they still vibrate and they still react to the things that each other is experiencing. And also, if time isn't linear, if all time is happening right now, the past is now, the future is now, the only thing we have is now. With this whole Nostradamus thing, it kind of would make a lot of sense to me he's a consciousness, right? He exists. The energy that is him couldn't die, really. It just came on to live as another thing. So what if we could tap into our other lives, our other consciousness incarnations here in the 3D world, and that's how a lot of these psychics can tell us what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that as always, as we're saying that sometimes life is complicated, and I think when you're talking about these sort of like esoteric sort of subjects, like it becomes more complicated, right? Because it means what is our brain even processing? Back to that, right? Back to what we were discussing with Daryl there too. So what you're onto here is that maybe there is some sort of connection between that linear time where it's not, like, it's just not. It just never was. It never will be linear time. It's just the way that we experience it. And our brain is way ahead of ourselves on sort of a subconscious state and able to pick up on things that we'll never understand, maybe never understand. And I could buy that. I'm with you on that. I do like the idea of time existing all in the same space. So that, right here in this moment, in this spot I'm standing on, this circle of salt that I'm broadcasting from, is actually maybe, who knows what was here 1,000 years ago. But whatever it was is still here, right? We're still in the same space, sharing that same space. That's pretty amazing to me, just to think of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So it's like, I don't know, man. A lot of the, like you were saying before, where magic is magic until science understands it, right? So the more we start understanding through science about how energy works and how frequencies work and how we even experience this life is through the filter of our brain. And what's the brain but processing electrical signals? So if electrical signals are just energy and energy can't be created or destroyed, then aren't we just really processing everything all at once, just filtered through the meat suit that we're in right now?
I would think so. And the unfortunate limits of that, we talked about actually that the very first time you called in, we were talking about, what were we talking about? I can't remember, but you were discussing superpowers in the brain, and you were discussing like a limiter, because if we didn't have a limiter, all of that stuff the brain could process would possibly cripple us, right?
It would overwhelm us. Exactly. So if everything is energy, and Nostradamus was energy, we are energy, just moving through different states of being, then yeah, the brain is just a filter in order to stop us from being overwhelmed by all the things that we know or are seeing or hearing or feeling or whatever. So it's really just psychics tap into what a lot of esoteric thoughts call the Akashic records, where everything is written down in time and space and everything, and they just kind of tap in, take a peek, let us know what's going on or not. But that can also be rewritten at the same time, because it's all about choice. And that's kind of also what I think about. You were saying, like, what are we doing here if it's not about the journey, right?
Yes.
Well, wouldn't it make a lot of sense if we're in this space, in this world here, just to experience everything that's here? Because in other states of being, then we're going to experience those things wherever that is and whatever that may contain. Right?
Yeah, well, but still like to experience it, but then not in a finite sense of we can only ever achieve what was predetermined, right?
Well, I don't think it's about predetermination. I think it's about just learning whatever this life has for us this time around. If our consciousness chose to incarnate here just to experience the 3D world in this lifetime, then we're going to live a different lifetime once our consciousness moves on to somewhere else. So it's not about it being written in stone. It's about being here in the moment, in the present now, to experience the wonder of the world. I mean, I don't know. I was talking about this with my boyfriend the other day. It's like, do you know how lucky we are just to live here right now in this time, to experience all the messed up things in the world, yeah, but you also have so many beautiful things in the world too. I mean, personally, I'm just a huge fan of nature. Go walk through the woods and all the wonders of creation that are there. And if we weren't here in this life, here on Earth, we would never be able to experience this or remember it, because maybe it's just like a memory wipe thing too at the same time. Like, we just don't remember all of our different lives, because that would be too much here, because the 3D world is just very visceral.
Okay, I'm with you on that. That makes sense. And so again, but back to the whole like where you started with the whole time existing in the same space, then I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So what does that mean? I agree with you, by the way, about and this is why I don't like I said, that my 3 trigger points: taxes, healthcare, and doomsday prophecies. I can't stand it. It gets under my skin, because it's kind of like that pointing the bone, right? I don't like trying to plant that seed in people's head that the end is nigh. I don't like that. Like, let's live like we enjoy today and we expect tomorrow within reason, and we're going to do our best today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And like doing that sour doom all the time, sour doom, it's how you manipulate people. That's the thing that pisses me off the most about it.
It's the fear porn. I mean, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
That's what the media like to do. Keep us in a state of fear and anxiety, just so we're always worried about what could happen or what might happen. And we never actually get to be here now in the present and just kind of love whatever we got going on for us, man. You know what I mean? Like, granted, people's lives are hard and you're always going to have difficulties, but just because you go through hard times doesn't mean there's still not beauty that's surrounding you. Just that doesn't mean there's not love that's still surrounding you. So the whole doomsday thing, yeah, I don't jive with that either. If the world ends tomorrow, then you know what? Okay, it ends tomorrow. But for today, hell, man, I'm going to go walk in the woods for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to drink an ice cold water. You know, I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like simple things. Like, it doesn't mean you have to stop enjoying amazing, simple things just because, I mean, we know we live in a fucked up world, and that's for sure. But it does not mean the end is nigh. All right. It does not. I've said this. I'm going to continue to say this. We got ourselves here it means we can get ourselves out. All right. And I truly believe that otherwise I wouldn't be doing this show. I'd be, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. But you know what I mean?
100%, man. Yeah, we got ourselves here. We're the only ones that can get ourselves out.
Yeah.
There is no like great divine hand coming down from a cloud that's going to save us from our shitty decisions. That's not how that works. You know what I mean? Like, you have to make the decisions for your own life and move forward in however you think is best for this time around the sun, this time. So yeah, that's for sure. I'm with you 100% on that, man.
Right on. You're in the right place. What else you got regarding Nostradamus? Do you think that he was a seer, or do you think he was just a poet that we misinterpret like crazy?
Isn't all poetry misinterpreted until some scholar decides that it's not? Really?
No, maybe, but I think scholars are assholes. If you want
they are. Yeah,
if you want to quote
sure.
me on anything, scholars are assholes. Anyway, sorry.
For sure. When it comes to Nostradamus, I mean, yeah, like I was saying, I think some people do have the gift where they can tap into the energy of the universe. You know what I mean? If it's all free, like Tesla said, the secrets of the universe lie in energy, frequency, and vibration. I think some people are just more sensitive to understanding those things than others. And they can maybe reach out into their future consciousness, wherever and whenever that's incarnated, and see what's going on there and report back. Or maybe it works different for them. I'm not really sure. It's like some of the other callers were talking about tarot and astrology. Daryl brought up the astrology thing, and it's like, yeah, man, there's a lot that's written in the stars, and there's a lot that the heavens affect here on the planet Earth. But that's once again referring back to the whole frequency, vibration, energy things, because everything living, everything in existence has those. So Nostradamus, yeah, man. I mean, who's to say he wasn't doing exactly what we think he was? Maybe we just don't know how to understand him, or maybe we just need to get to a greater level of understanding about everything around us in order to interpret whatever he wrote down properly. Or maybe the way the media spins it is bullshit, because the media always spins it into bullshit, and it's more fear porn. So I wouldn't really go at it from the whole like what's reported sense. I'll say if you want to study what he had to say, then go look at his actual words and read about him and learn about him and see where he was coming from. And yeah, who's to say it's not real?
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, in the sense also that, doesn't that mean in some sense that you and I are both also seers or prophets to some degree?
I think anyone can be, if that's the path that they choose and that's how they want to live and that's what they want to study. What's to stop you from exploring your own energy and your own body and getting your own consciousness to a higher level of understanding, so you could be a prophet too, or be a seer too? You can learn tarot. You can learn divination. There are many forms of divination. You can learn anything you want if you take the time and put the energy into it.
All right, perfect. So we'll say a hefty dose of maybe, maybe.
Yes.
We don't know. Well, I mean, it's such a long time ago too. It's, you know what I mean? It's like Matt said too. So there was some speculation that he didn't even write that stuff, that it was written by somebody else and all kind. I mean, again, right? Like, there's so many wrinkles of God, who knows what. That again, right? That, like I always say, that the post-truth world truth becomes a slippery fish, and that's why I'm not even interested in truth anymore. To be honest, I think truth is in my opinion, probably one of those. A red herring, maybe, right? It's truth is a distraction, because it's not necessarily truth, because there's no objective truth. It's your truth, and your truth is your truth, but right, it's not mine. Right? Personal
truths are more meaningful than any kind of universal truth, in my opinion, because I can't see things from your perspective like fully. I can't look through your eyes, just like you can't look through my eyes and see it from my perspective fully. And I mean, like 100%.
Right.
You can explain your perspective to me. That doesn't mean I'm going to get it. So personal truths hold way more weight for me than some written down book definition. Because I really think, this is kind of off topic, but I think when we feel the need to label things and define things and put it in a box, it really just limits whatever that thing could be.
Yeah, 100%. And on topic, you're in the right place. Definitely good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate it, Dre. What else you got for us tonight?
I think that's about it, man.
All right. That's cool. Cool. As you know, you are welcome back anytime. Dre in South Carolina. Thanks for the phone call. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for spending your time here. As always, I say, and I mean this, the most important thing is your time and your energy, and you're giving that to us. And thank you so much for that.
Hey, before you get off, Dre, I wanted to say something. If we all picked the time that we lived in, if we all opted to come here. Why do you think we opted to pick this time? And like, did we pick this time because there was going to be an end of the world during our time on Earth? I don't think so. I don't think we wanted to live here because there was going to be the end of the world. I think we wanted to live here because we were going to have to, we would get to use smartphones and technology. Or like, let's say, you know, maybe the times of the Roaring 20s, like they wanted to be flappers, but then they didn't look that far ahead enough and they didn't see the wars that were coming up or the depression. Like there's always a glitch in that kind of like, I want to come back for this time, or I want to come back during the sexual revolution, so I got to have lots of sex. Oh, but then there was AIDS, and then you couldn't, and then there was that other disease, and then there was a pandemic. Oh dear, I picked the wrong time. Like there's always going to be a glitch in the time that you picked. You know, I was just saying that. You know, like we don't pick the time that carefully. I think we pick it maybe a 20-year, you know, parameter, and we're not looking too far ahead. I think we're looking to be, where are we going to be when we're in our 20s and 30s and 40s? What do you think about that? I don't know. You just made me think of that.
I think that there is no wrong time to incarnate here on Earth. I think that we have a lot more purpose than we realize. I think that we came here knowing what we'd be facing, and we came in to help, honestly. I think that a lot of people came to do whatever their selfish needs were, but I don't think everyone is kind of on that wavelength. I think each life we live, we choose that experience for whatever it has to teach us, and also how we can benefit others. Because, in my opinion, we're not human beings. We're spiritual beings, and we have spiritual family that we care about. So if we're incarnating here with our spiritual family, well, we're here to help them out too, to live this life, to experience the beauty, but also to help us move forward and to grow and to learn in as many different avenues as we can.
Right.
So I don't think it's more like we came here because we didn't, or like we chose to came here now for the smartphones, but we didn't know there was going to be COVID, right? I don't think that's really it. I think it's more like we came here knowing what would happen. We just didn't know what we would choose to do in the situation until we were here. And now this is the path that we have to walk, is however we're choosing to go about that.
Right. Or when do we make those decisions to reincarnate? How old? What's our mentality at that moment? I don't know. You know, that's another thing.
Well, there's a lot of different theories that say that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was saying there's a lot of different theories that say that we choose to incarnate here on Earth because this is one of the few places for us to live in such a 3D sensory-based existence. Like a lot of other places are more like floating energy clouds, or we go and experience life on some planet or in some dimension that is nothing like it is here. They don't have an Earth like this existence. And that's why we choose to come here, because this is one of the few places where we can experience sex and love and pain and all of the extremes of the emotional spectrum, because that's kind of where it's at. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's struggles, but there's so much awesomeness and dope shit for us to do and experience. Then yeah, that's why we come here.
Exactly. Like we have life and death, but we have all the stuff that's in between.
Exactly.
You know, we don't have life and death on the other planes or other dimensions. We're kind of all the same old. Maybe we just incarnate because it's a short-lived thing, but it's so intense.
Intense, yes, intense, exactly. Yes,
Right.
that's what I think about it.
I like that. I like that a lot. Good one.
Good stuff. Good stuff. See, talking to each other helps, doesn't it? It's one of those things, right? We're told it's the opposite. We're not supposed to talk to our neighbors. We're supposed to hate our neighbors. But amazing when you talk to each other when you're like, oh, cool.
Didn't mean to cut you out of that, Mike. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. That's the point of doing this, honestly. Like I always say, the joke is my ego's the size of the sun. But I'd honestly rather hear you guys talk, because I learn too, right? It's not. I'm no I don't know, seer here or anything special. A jerk on the internet with a microphone. That's it. That's my superpower. That's all I got. So I can listen as well as speak. And a pleasure hearing you ladies tonight. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Yep, definitely. You too. Thanks for being part of this. All right. So we got anything else? You guys good? Dre.
Well, why did our parents choose to incarnate? You know, what were their choices when they chose to incarnate? What was their idea? Or what were some people that we know that are, I don't want to say the F word, but like someone like his parents, or what was his MO? to incarnate during this time.
Who says it was any different than our MO? They just made different life choices in this path, in this short existence that they had. They made very different life choices and chose their priorities for very different reasons.
Right. Okay. I mean, when I think of my parents, I mean, they went through so much BS. Like, what part of that like the whole span was the mint part, and what was the rest that they had to go through was so much difficulty. You know, they had so much trouble and so much grief and fear, much more than we had, but actually similar to what we're going through, very similar to what we're going through now. They went through the Holocaust. You know, when I think about what going through that and surviving that, you know, who would want to go, you know, who would want to be born during that time? You know,
I kind of think it's like I was talking about before, in that how you can go through all of these hard times and just absolutely horrific situations, but the part, like the lesson here is that yes, that happens, and no, there's no excuse for it, but there's still beauty that surrounds us, and there's still love to be shared, and there's still good things in life. Like your parents, they survived, they had you. What better gift would that be than to come out of that and have a daughter and a kid, you know what I mean, that they get to raise and experience your whole life with. Or, you know what I mean? Like that whole experience of raising a child, of carrying a baby, of being able to share love between two people and then have that love bloom right in front of you as your kid.
Right. There you go. That's a good one. You have a point there. Okay.
You win, Dre. You win.
I'm not trying to win anything.
I know.
A lot of people, like there's so much fucked up shit going on, you know what I mean? But there's still so many good things that are around us if we just take the time to pay attention to them.
Right.
That's like seriously, like you can. I was riding on the interstate with my boyfriend, just looking out into the marshland and just noticing what's going on. And I'm like, how lucky are we? Like seriously, how lucky are we? Look how old that tree is. That tree's been here longer than we could ever be on this planet, and it's still sitting there, and it's still amazing, and it still has a life, and it's still got its own energy going on. It's still doing its tree thing. How about the crab on the beach? Look at that crab. It's a happy little crab. You know what I mean? It's living its life, doing whatever it can. We get to see sunsets over mountains or at the beach or wherever. We get to just see a flower grow that we planted and bloom right in front of us. We get to watch baby animals grow up that we either have as pets or just around us in nature. We get to experience the unconditional love of a pet or the unconditional love of a partner if you're lucky enough to find that in this lifetime. There's so many beautiful things around us that we don't have to keep looking at all the things covered in shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of those things.
Yes, there are a shit ton of those things, man, but that doesn't mean we have to focus on them.
Right. 100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
The cup is always half full, Tim. The cup is always half full at Troubled Minds. The point is to have a discussion and to really say that no, it doesn't have to be focused on all the doom, right? It's also, you know, there are two sides of every conversation, and so like saying, hey, look, they're not talking about this in the media for a particular reason. We should be aware of this to be knowledgeable to help us in the future, right? Like it's not about, again, like I said, I'm not a doomsday prophet. The second I start doing that shit, guys, I want you to rebel. I want you guys to freak out and start calling me a fraud. Everybody call me a fraud if I ever go doomsday prophet. I'm not going to do that. I promise you I won't do that. It's not in me. It's not in me. I can't do it. Because right again, you think about, I listen to people that do that stuff and I grind my teeth because they are literally like, you know, you've heard of these cults, right? Where they take people's money because they're like, oh, the end is in December. You may as well just give me all your fucking money, right? It's like, what? Right. Like, it makes me so mad. It makes me so fucking mad. You know what I mean? But that's monetary. But imagine like this soul that you're destroying and all these people by saying this stuff, and people trust you because you have a microphone. People fucking trust you. You know what I mean? And this is why I'm telling you guys, never trust me. Vet everything. Check my sources. That's why I always do it. It's why I always have an open line. If I'm off the rails, somebody call me and check me, because that's not what this is about. That's what this is about. Thank you. And that's what they should be, right? No doomsday prophets here. We're not doing that.
Absolutely.
Not doing that.
Absolutely.
Okay. All
no,
right,
man,
so-
because even if someone says that the world's gonna end, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? Okay, the world's ending. How does that change what I'm gonna do today or tomorrow or next week? If it's ending next year, cool. I'm gonna live it up this year, man. You know what I mean? I'm still gonna do right by people, and I'm still gonna make good choices. But there's nothing to change if the end is coming. Then you know what? Okay, it's coming. Cool. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
right.
walk in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to end at some point, aren't we? I mean,
Exactly.
whatever that definition of end is. I mean, yeah,
Are you
definitely.
going to live like you're dying, or you're going to die like you're living? Something like that.
There you go. Something Braveheart quote. What did he say? Freedom, or whatever the hell he said. I don't know.
Nailed it.
Yeah, right. Something like, and again, it's okay. Just laugh at ourselves. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. All right. So we got 10, 15, 20. Nobody told us when to stop. So you guys are welcome as long as you like, of course. But we're still talking about this, guys. What are your thoughts here? Thank you, Dre in South Carolina. Thank you, Daryl in New York. See how that rolls off much easier. And I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for spending your time and energy with us. Like I said, it means a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. All right. We're still taking your phone calls, guys. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Going to put it in right there on the screen. That's Dre in South Carolina. That's Daryl in New York. And that's a fantastic conversation, right? That's what it is. And so that's why. So if you guys if you come in and you start pressing me hard on like doomsday stuff and I get agitated, you'll know. Okay, just to be honest up front, it does make me mad because that type of thinking, if you believe it, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry that you believe that the end is nigh. I'm sorry you believe that. But also, I don't like spreading that type of stuff because you're robbing people of the joy they may have between now and then. You know what I mean? Even if you're right. I'm not saying if you've got perfect data that suggests the end is tomorrow, right? Here's the picture of the meteorite, you know what I mean? Or whatever the hell it is. It's still, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? That's a different story, of course. But anyway, yeah, Tim's got it right. The cup is half open. Matt says, eyes open, blowing minds again. Thank you. And of course, Daryl as well. Good stuff as always. What's up, Shadows of the Moon? Everybody give us Shadows of the Moon a follow on YouTube. Been a friend of the show for a very long time. She's been hanging out with us since back in the Frank days. And she's got a YouTube channel herself over there. So give her a follow, pretty please. Good people doing good things. All right, so let's one more another good comment here. What's up, Don? Says anyone take in the thought that he did major drugs to get into his proper state? You saying that maybe, just maybe, Nostradamus was a DMT aficionado. How do you say that? Anyway, let's say he dug DMT. Let's just cut to that. Let's cut to the Michael Strange way to say it. You're saying that maybe Nostradamus was on some sort of hallucinogens that allowed him to maybe have a conversation with the machine elves, which maybe not Nostradamus himself was able to look into the future, but they were able, through that altered mental state, they were able to convey the future to him. And so his translations are fucked up because his quatrains are not exactly perfect because, well, it was an interdimensional translation. I like it. I like it. So yeah, what's going on, guys? Everybody out there doing your thing, and we're just hanging out talking about Nostradamus. I want to point this out too. So the thought I had when Daryl first called in was this, right? So we were talking about if everybody out there had this is my derailed thought that I couldn't corral at the time, but it came back to me. If everybody out there had their own predictions and they put them out there, right? Meaning that we would all, as a collective, be able to predict the future, right? Because everybody's throwing out their predictions and their ideas and how what's going to happen. And right, if you took all that and parsed it, and sure, fine, right? But think about it in terms of this. Is that not what they're trying to do with big data, with like Facebook and with Google and things like this, right? Is they're actually taking all of that data and trying to parse it, not just from us, right? Our fears, our hopes, our dreams, our anxieties, every bit of it, right? What we eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, probably when we take a crap, because I'll bet you if you're on Facebook, when you're taking a crap, they're tracking that too, right? They're like, oh, Michael Strange, 8 minutes and a half, and he brings his phone with him. You know what I'm saying? I'll bet you that shit's happening. And I don't bring my phone with me, by the way. I do not. I'm not gonna tell you what I do while I'm taking a crap, because it will. It's a TMI. But okay, so point being is, and it's just taking a crap. it's as simple as that. But anyway, so the thing is this, right? In terms of if we were all seers and we were all able to throw all the information out there, everybody's own predictions from their own brains, right? And then maybe corral that information, come to sort of a consensus, right? Sort of like maybe a human consensus of what the future may be. Imagine that's what big data is doing now. It's actually doing that. And this new AI and the algorithms are actually corralling all of that stuff from us, putting in this gigantic ass database, and then trying to predict the future in a mechanical way, in a code way. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. That's the thought I had when we were first talking to Daryl there. So good stuff. Just hanging out, just chilling, just doing our thing, talking about Nostradamus and kicking it with some friends. All right. So still looking to take your calls, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show. Easy as that. If you want to jump in here, we usually don't do this because it isn't this type of show. It's more of an audio show, not a video show. But since we're not actually on the radio, there's a actual link. You could click the thing and hop in here and jump in, and we'll put you on the show right next to me, right here. We'll do it this way. Oops, we'll reverse it. We'll do it like this, and we're stacked above me and below me. If you want to hop on here with your webcam or not, just click the link and get in here, and we'll put you on the show. Real quick, I want to talk about this as well. So you can go back too, right, and see there's a lot of this, right? So this was from the New York Post, and this was December 28th, 2020. All right, now 2020. Okay, and so you can go back and see in this this post-truth era of exactly what was happening in last year with Nostradamus and the clickbait and all the crap, right? So again, right, here we go. So Nostradamus's predictions for 2021, asteroids, zombies, what else? Let's see, fathers and mothers dead of infinite sorrows, women in mourning, the pestilent she-monster, the great one to be no more, all the world to end, the philosopher went on ominously. Nostradamus also appears to allude to the coronavirus pandemic of 2020, they say, but writes that the following year will be even more destructive, perhaps bringing famine to the world. All right, well, there you go. So that was in 2021. We are now in 2022. And so you tell me, I don't know, is this real? Is this not real? Great thought there, Don. Appreciate the idea of maybe, just maybe, Nostradamus was into DMT. I like it. All right. So let's see this, that, the other thing. Let's undo that. Get my buttons correct. All right. So if you want to be part of the show, got a few minutes left for you. If you want to give us your thoughts. Let's check the Discord, make sure we're clear there. Everything looks good. Let's go to Joseph in Iowa. What's up, brother? Welcome back to Troubled Minds. How are you, my man?
Hey, I was just listening about the gathering of information, and I just talked to Google actually the other day because I was trying to get an ad, and they take a profit, or they take a cut of your profit, so they don't charge like Facebook where you pay for clicks and stuff. You get paid, and then they take a cut off of your pay or something like that. They have some system set up, but they ask these questions that are like really, first of all, they record everything. They right away, you have to agree to be recorded. And then they'll
Joseph,
ask you questions like, what makes you original from other people? They ask a lot of questions. Like they dig into your whatever you're presenting to them. So I think that's the entertainment industry is really a lot of people are I believe the entertainment industry is connected to it all somehow, like the ideas and stuff, because people can't, like, they can't go to space and they can't do what they want, you know, but they can, like, simulate it, you know, almost. They can tell stories. You got, like, Fortnite, you got arcades, like big, like Vegas. You're in Vegas, they're simulating, they're doing all this cool stuff. It's like architecture almost.
Okay, but so which means what then? What are they doing with it?
That's predicting the future or guiding the future. Like someone said earlier, like the future is always changing. So what if you can dial in, is what I wonder, if you can dial into something.
Right. So back to what I was saying too, with all the data points of Facebook, Google, and all the rest of that, like you said, they were kind of asking you invasive questions a little bit on the phone, which seems weird when they know everything they need to know about you already, probably, right? They just need to dial in your profile and be like, well, we know that Joseph takes a crap at 6 p.m. and he has his phone with him and it takes, 6.5 minutes or whatever, right? Like they probably know those things. And I say that tongue in cheek to be crude, to make a point. That's not really what I mean, but they know if you leave the house, they know where you're going. They know how long you've been there. You said you're into VR. They know how long you've been doing that. You know what I mean? Like those are the types of things I'm saying. So they do have all that data, and I think you're picking down what I'm putting up. Is that in the end for them to be able to tell the future, to feed it into this huge AI with a database so large that every data set is in there about all of us, our hopes, our dreams, our fears, our ambitions. When we take a crap, and they're going to put it, what we eat for dinner, how often we eat, and they're going to put it into a database and predict the future. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, and then like we would be stuck on a path, and then like almost not have a choice. Some people, it would be like trying to break the matrix spiritually or something at some point. I don't know if that even makes sense.
Yeah, well, I think maybe it does, man. Why not, right? Like, what about back to the doomsday prophecies? Isn't that kind of breaking the matrix through breaking people's spirits?
Yeah.
Or is it emboldening and strengthening the matrix? I don't know. I don't know either, man. I'm with you. I'm just a questions guy. If you're looking for answers, brother, you're in the wrong place. But you already knew that. I have no idea. Yeah. But it's definitely a good conversation. Appreciate it, my man. What else you got for us?
Yeah, that was basically it. Like they ask a lot of questions if you ever have ideas. So that's why people who are in the entertainment industry are doing something creative. So maybe they would be generating more than predictions, and they would be generating technology. Like they're generating like ideas that people are coming up with and turn them into products basically before they could even like a collective, like that. Yeah, they're turning it into a hive, but that would take cooperation, like a willingness, I think. And a lot of people are willing, but I don't know, like there's some really, like there's that Rick out there. Like if you ever seen Rick and Morty, there's that Rick out there that you're missing that data piece, or that you're missing a couple pieces of the puzzle, and the whole puzzle is incomplete.
Yeah, well, exactly. And if those pieces of the puzzle are missing, are never to be found, then we'll always have that weird influx future, right? Like who knows? Like nobody has all the information, nobody has all the data, except for you know who, Zuckerberg. That dickhead does. Yeah. Yeah,
or the Overmind.
The Overmind. There you go. Back to the Overmind. Absolutely. We just did a show on the Overmind. Good shit, Joseph. You're the man. What else, my man?
That's it.
Right on. Appreciate it. Check out his YouTube channel. Joseph has a YouTube channel, Hydro Host. Scroll down. It says follow Joseph. Go check it out. Joseph, you're the man. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, bro. There you go. Easy as that. Boom. All right. So where are we at time wise? I think we're good. This is about 3 hours. Are you guys satisfied? Here we go. Let's mash this. Let's do this. How about this?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
There it is. There it is. Thank you all for all your amazing takes. Thanks for being patient with me as I worked out all the tech issues as we all do this. And again, like I said, think about now. This is a testament to technology. All right. So I dig on technology a lot because of the surveillance state, because of the algorithms, because of their trying to find out what we're eating, when we're eating it, when we're crapping, all this other stuff. Right. They're trying to do that. But again, think about without technology, this doesn't exist. All right. The troubled minds does not exist without technology. So I want you to be aware too, that there are blessings. There are both sides to every story, and there are two sides to every coin, right? Like the, what will you say? Two sides to the coin, right? And that's what I want to say is that, look at this. Like I said, and I'm not kidding you, like a lot of real radio shows have a team of people, like multiple 3, 4, 5 people running the shit live, right? Because it can't be done solo, right? It can't be. Oh yeah? Hold my fucking beer. It can be. And it's not because I'm special or any of the rest of that. It's because of technology. All right? It's changing. All right? It's making things more accessible and open to us. And it's a good thing. All right? It's a good thing. So with every, again, what do you say? The double edge, I don't know. I'm all out of analogies tonight. All right. But the point is that for all the digging I do on actual technology, there's some beautiful things happening here. Like back to what Dre was saying, there's a lot of things we have to be grateful for. So let's not forget this. Troubled Mind show is a half glass full show, just in case anybody missed it or only tunes in from time to time. This is about knowing what's trying to anyway, having that discussion about what's happening to us currently and in times to come. Okay. And I don't have those answers. I have concerns, but I am not a doomsday prophet. All right. And I've said that a lot of times, and I'm going to continue to say that because I do think it robs people when you're constantly banging the pulpit and screaming doomsday. I think you're draining people's souls. I think you're draining the joy out of people. And so, some people can handle it and function fine, and some people can't when you're doing that shit. And that's why, again, if you want to add a third to that list, taxes, healthcare make me irate. Doomsday prophecies, put that in as a third. And there's a reason why I never talk in terms of this. I had a feeling about a bad thing gonna happen. You never hear me say shit like that, right? You don't. And if I do, call me out, because I don't believe that to be the case. I want to think tomorrow is going to be more beautiful than yesterday. And call me a dreamer, call me an idiot, call me whatever you want to call me. All right, that's fine. But my point is, I do not think doomsday prophesizing is healthy for anybody. That's my point. So there we go. What's up, guys? I see you out there. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Sorry, Tam Bam. It's in. Look, I don't know what to do. Do I have to tweet it? Like, how do I mean, okay. So I've been very, very good mostly about putting the events in Troubled Minds Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord, on the top left, there's an event section. And when I put it in there, it'll pop up. And so it was up there since yesterday or prior to that even. So I'm sorry. Anyway, if you didn't get the memo, there was a show tonight. My fault. I try and do all the things. It's difficult to do all the things, like I said, when you're just one person, right? So so I know you forgive me, but that's just my point, right? It's just anyway. So I wish that I could just think it and it was done, but There's a lot of work that goes into all the things, so I apologize for that. Oh, there you go. What's up, Don says? I heard cocaine and heroin, but not sure with Nostradamus. That's pretty hilarious. What's up? What's going on, David? I see you there. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for being part. A double-edged sword. Thanks, Matt. I'm looking for it. It's not there. Martin Liam, long-time caller, first-time listener. I am Martin Liam. Martin Liam has done this. Thanks for the tip, brother. Don't send me tips, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. A tip over on Rockfin. Thanks for hanging out with us. Like I said, the most important thing, I appreciate that very much. Thank you, the mighty Rohan. That's very nice of you. Very kind. The thing is, right, like I said, the most important thing with all of this is spending your time and your energy. Like I said, we only have so much time and we only have so much energy. All right. And I'm honored and I'm blessed that you guys spend it here with me and with us. And I'm sticking to that story because it's the truth. And this is the craziest thing, right? About those, sticking with the story and the truth. If you tell the truth all the time, you don't have to worry about sticking to the story. You just tell the fucking truth. All right. Geez. Damn it, Tam Bam. Damn it, Tam Bam. My bad. Yeah. So if you here's the thing too. Now, notably, just real quick as we finish this up, there's a thing happening. All right. With the reason we left Facebook because we had an audience of over 40,000 people on our page. Right. And clearly, like, some of them were there for the articles that were shared, for some other things, not necessarily for the radio show. But if you have 40,000 people like a page, or 44,000 at its highest point, and you get 10 people show up for the radio show, that tells you that they're playing shenanigans with the actual notifications. Okay. And so all they have to do is flick one little switch on that algorithm, type in one new little line of code, and they have the list of winners and losers, and they've chosen them. All right. And so the point is, the reason why we've peeled off the Discord, the reason why we're on Rockfin, the reason why we're on Fringe, there's a whole lot going on with all that shenanigans of you don't get the notification. All right. So if we're live and you want to catch every live show, join the Discord, because in the Discord, every single time we go live, I post in there at everybody. Right. I try not to be a spammer and at everybody all the time, but it'll let you know when we go live. There's also an events tab up in the top right, which is a fantastic functionality. You can click that and see when the next Troubled Mind show is. And again, I'm not perfect, but I've been pretty good about putting those up there. Last week I was a little sloppy, but it was a fucked up week for a few different reasons, right? The monitor broke in and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, point being is that on the Discord, you will always get notifications if you turn notifications on Discord, right? They're not in the censorship business yet, as far as I'm aware. But all the big tech is, all the other guys, YouTube, Facebook, of course. Facebook, we left Facebook. Fuck you, Facebook. Can I say it again? No, once is enough. But you get it, right? So you have to start finding new ways to figure out when we do go live. I've announced it and done all the things. I'm sorry you didn't get the memo. Sorry about that. All right. What's up, APOC? I'm entertained. All right. I'm glad you're entertained. All right. Let's get the hell out of here. All right. So that's the deal. And what we're going to do, thank you. Appreciate that. Robert over on Rockfin. I see your $2 and raise you $5, Liam. Thank you for the tips, guys. Appreciate that very much. Okay. So the thing is this, right? So, and I'm going to say it now, I'm going to add the next Troubled Mind show in the Discord in the event section. I'll do that tonight. Before I go to bed, I promise you, I'll do it right now. Actually, I'll do it right now while I'm on the damn live stream. I'm going to do it right now. But this is the thing, right? We're taking next week off. Me, personally, am taking next week off. So if you guys want to do Troubled Minds without me, you are more than welcome. We have Discord. You guys can all hop in there at the exact same show times and hang out and talk about your whatever, right? I'm just taking the week off, just to let you know. It's been a great year. It's been a long year, and there is a toll, right? There is a toll on just sort of the energy. It's a creative energy thing is all. Like I've talked about this a little bit in the past, and so I'm not tired physically. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I just have other things that get neglected when there's so much Troubled Minds, and all the preparation that goes into it, all the cutting up the podcasts afterward, all the edits and all the things. Like, it's amazing, but it's a fuck ton of work. And so I'm going to take next week off. And so the next Troubled Mind show will be, let's look at the calendar here. Let me make sure. The next Troubled Mind show will be January 17th, for 3 p.m. will be the news show on that Monday the 17th, and then Monday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, will be Troubled Minds back. So we're going to take a full calendar week off, start again next Monday, and there you go. There you go. So just so we know, just so we're all on the same page. Like I said, I'm putting it in the Discord right now as we speak, up on the top left, the event section. That's the best way to find out, because these tech assholes do shenanigans, right? If you're talking about the crap they want you to talk about, they boost all your notifications up to everybody, okay? But if you're one of those ones who, like us, like me, who, by the way, Troubled Minds was demonetized month 1 on YouTube. First month. We weren't even like good at it yet. We weren't even talking about anything like super spicy yet. Bam, demonetized. So point is, right, they're out there listening. They're out there watching. These algorithms are eating up the words like candy every single day, parsing them perfectly, putting them in different areas and the rest of this. And that's what I'm talking about. So you tell me, I don't know. How does this end? Well, it ends with the glass half full. I can't tell the future, but that's my hunch. That's my notion. And I hope you being here with us tonight is a testament to that for you as well. You're here because I'm not a doom monger. You're here because we're not trying to crap on humanity. You're here because hopefully, well, maybe you've seen a UFO or something else, right? All the rest of that stuff, that all goes into one, because why the fuck not? Here we're doing it. So, all right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's do it. I'm adding the event January 17th. Troubled Minds will be back. 1 week off. Thank you so much for spending your time and energy with us. Let's go. How do I fix this? All right, there you go. So now you know my trigger points. If you want me to get chippy, just bring up taxes, healthcare, or doomsday prophecy. Yeah, you can bring up doomsday prophecy. Just don't tell me the world's ending tomorrow. I won't. I will not take it well. Let's say I will not take it well. But all right, let's get the hell out of here. Let's play some music and do the thing. And yeah, there we go. One more time.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
It's been approximately 1 year, exactly 1 year, since we debuted on Fringe FM and turned this YouTube show into a real radio show. So what does 2022 bring? You tell me. So thank you. Thank you. Again, this doesn't exist without each and every one of you, and I appreciate it so much. So let's get the hell out of here. You guys are the best. Let's smash this button. I don't see a J in the J-Tro slot. Let me make sure. Make sure I'm not leaving J out. Yep, we're good. All right, that's it. Music's playing. Troubled Minds is ending. And as Matt says, in the immortal words of Matt, take a break, Mike. Yes, sir. All right. Actually, Dawn wanted the Soylent Green clip again. All right. I'll just have to emulate it for you. Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green is people. Oh, geez. All right. All right. Let's get the hell out of here. What do we got? Read the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Also, just a quick update, if it's okay, I've got Rohan joining me on my stream on Thursday and Jennifer on Friday. There it is. Check out James's show, Salcedo Paranormal. Matter of fact, watch this. I can just put the MF in show up on the damn stream. Look at that. Look at technology. SalcedoParanormal.podbean.com. You can also join his Discord. We'll get you a link for that. Actually, I can do that right now as we speak. This is what I'm saying about technology, right? Like, we can dig on it all we want. It is a double-edged sword. Thank you, Matt, for shaping me up there. Here's the thing. Here's a link to James's Discord. He's going to be going all week. If you missed Troubled Minds, by the way, you can listen to all of James's show and all of Troubled Minds every single week, and you can catch them both. Our times do not conflict. But here we go. Here is a invite to James's Discord, because I can do that. I have that technology, and I have that know-how. So here you go. So we're going to have the mighty Rohan on James's show and Jennifer Thursday and Friday. Please go check that out. Give all of them a follow. James, Jennifer, and Rohan. Everybody, Daryl, down below. All the links down below. Please give these amazing people some love. Dropping the thing in. Here we go. There's the Discord. Join James's Discord. Hop in there, and boom. James, you're the best, brother. Everybody else, you're also the best. You see what I did there? And let's get the hell out of here. We are done. We are done. And as we finish, it goes a little something like this. Taking the week off. So if you're missing us next week, here's the thing. If you want to support the show, spread the word. That's the most important thing. Second, If you want to help the show and you haven't heard our old shows, listen to them on the podcast feed. There are ads baked in. I get pennies. Every time you listen to a show, I get a few pennies. So please do that. That's the easiest way. You don't have to spend any money. Just go listen to an old show. Be entertained for free. Here's some old stuff that you haven't heard. Again, a lot of these amazing, smart people have called into many, many, many shows all throughout the year. So even if you're sick of my shit, well, there's a lot of smart people that call in that maybe you're not sick of their shit. So there you go. Listen to us on the podcast feed. It helps a lot. Thank you so much again. I can't say thank you enough. It's been basically the year that plateaued Troubled Minds. And guess what? It means the boulder is sitting on top of the mountain. Guess what 2022 brings? Hopefully a Troubled Minds avalanche. Thank you guys very much. You're the best. Let's get the hell out of here. I am out. Michael Strange is out. Michael Strange vacation mode. Book it. Mark it on your calendar. January 17th. I don't think I'm going to shave all week. Maybe I'll come back with a beard. Have a great night, guys. It goes a little something like this. Be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night. We'll see you on the 17th. And the podcast feed, by the way, I will have some old shows up there. So if you're listening on the podcast feed and wondering, oh, shit, I'll try and put some stuff up just for you guys. So thanks again. We're out. Let's get out of here. Some Nostradamus, some Troubled Minds, and adios. Michael Strange is officially out. Have a good one, guys.